Auto sequence start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello there. Welcome, my fellow party people, to the 100th and final installment of Canned Conversation. My name is Andrew. With me, as always, my good friend Steven.
Well, hello there.
In case you're wondering, and if you think you maybe didn't hear that correctly, you did. This is our 100th episode. We've been building to this crescendo, but we also have decided to make this the final episode. So it is going to be a bang of an episode. We're going to party a little bit. It's a little no holds barred.
Yep.
We got a lot planned for this episode. It's probably going to be a little bit longer like the last one. So
buckle up.
Break it up into pieces if you want, maybe one part when you go to work, one part when you come back, or maybe just one long road trip. But we wanted to have fun with this.
Yeah.
Right. And so we got a lot of cans. And so we're probably going to get maybe a little buzzed. I don't know, which some of our audience.
Uber home.
Yeah. Which some of our audience has said, hey, it's kind of fun when you guys get a little buzz. Well,
tonight's the night.
Based on the amount of cans that we have, I don't know how we're not going to. All right. So I built it up there. We got, like I said, a lot of segments.
We do.
How you feeling? Feeling pumped, jazzed?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bittersweet to not do it anymore. We've done it for 2 years now, right? So it's a lot. 100 episodes is cool. I didn't think we'd make it past 5, 6, 7 for a while, and
right.
So I feel like that was a good thing. I will say it's been a fun ride, so I'm feeling good. I mean, I spent a little time prepping for this one, and over the last week, listened to a couple old episodes, and this morning I actually just listened to like 15 or 20 snippets of old episodes and just got jazzed about it. And I laughed, and I'm like, nice. I can't believe we told that story, and oh my god, I sound like an idiot, and like had a good time with it. So I'm pretty pumped for tonight. It'll be cool.
Yeah. So we're going to do, I too went through sort of the list of all the 100 and kind of, replayed a bunch of them in my head, and we're going to get to that. It's one of the things that we're going to kind of go behind the scenes in one of our segments, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of our favorite episodes, some of the things that went right, some of the things that went wrong, maybe. So we got a lot to cover. So we're going to need to get covered. Like I said, we got a bunch of cans too. So let's get into it. So as we have done for the 99 previous episodes, and we will do again for our final farewell, we bring new, unique, or rare canned beverages to try. And in this very special episode, we have at least, I think, 4 or 5. We're not going to spend a ton of time describing them and rating them because we got a lot.
We got a lot to get through.
Exactly. And
so keep up.
We're more interested in just drinking them.
Yeah, take notes today.
We're going to do that. And while we pop the top on each one of these and throw them down, we're going to do our very best to remain conscious and verbally literate in order to entertain you one final time. Throughout this show, we'll review and rate all of these canned beverages and let you know if you should try it while re-listening to all your favorite past episodes of Canned Conversation. And while doing so, remember to pour a little out for your favorite show hosts. All right. Nice. So without further ado, let's get to the first one. So I do have some fun movie quotes for each of these cans, or for at least 4.
Okay.
And you'll probably know them. I picked out some that were already in previous episodes from a long time past, just some of our favorites. Again, this is a lot of us just having fun with some of reliving all of our favorite moments. And here's the first one.
Cool.
Time for push-ups. 1, 2. We're going to 1,000.
I'm afraid that's not possible, sir.
It is possible. I'm already at 20.
You're scheduled to go to Jim Gordon's retirement party.
What? No, I don't want to do that.
You're going to have a great time.
No.
You might meet some new people.
No.
You'll even make some new friends.
No. No. Drop.
Woo! All right, so that one was not in a previous episode.
didn't think so.
But it's my favorite character. So I had a couple of character lines from this character that has spanned a very big universe. So I thought,
So
but
is it
this
the
one I
Marvel
never-
universe? What?
It's DC,
It's DC.
and it's my favorite character.
It's Batman.
Yes, that is from Lego Batman, and I never got into that one.
Lego Batman.
But you see that one on a lot of reels and stuff
Yeah.
now as the audio, where it's whatever they don't want to do, they
Yeah.
put
No.
that out front.
No,
No,
no.
no, no, no. All right, so that's my So you start us off with
All right.
what can?
So I brought first can tonight. It's from Main and Mill Brewing Company. It's actually in Festus, Missouri, and I only bought it because of title. Just not gonna lie to you. It's called the Thursday Night Incident, and to me, this has been my Thursday night incident for 2 years now. So. Like we usually record these on Thursday nights, and so this one screamed. Actually, my kid walked by this in the store and was like, "Oh my god, this says Thursday on it." I'm like, "It says Thursday Night Incident. This is exactly what this is." But this one's it's going to be a tough one. I'm not going to lie. I got real excited about it, and then I saw the words double IPA, and I'm like, I can't deal with a single IPA. And then this one's a double with citrus and Mosaic and El Dorado and whatever.
don't know what El
I don't even
Dorado
know what
tastes
this
like.
is. It's like 8% alcohol by volume. It's a big can, so it's 16 ounces or a pint, Florida ounces or a pint. Yeah, it's a big one.
So I just to set your mind a little at ease, the ones we've done the best with have been double IPAs because I found out I believe it's double filtered.
Oh, thank God. They need to quadruple filter it.
Exactly. So I think I'm
Are you hopeful?
I'm optimistic.
Pessimistically optimistic.
Yes,
All right.
because it is an IPA, but it's double. So I'm excited.
All right. Well,
All right.
keep filtering that one. Okay, keep going. All
right.
What you got for us first?
So the first thing we're going to do is a game. I thought let's
love
start it out with a game. And this is a little bit of a throwback. Let's see. On the episode list, I think it was somewhere in the 50s.
Okay.
I have my master episode list here. So just a real quick look over that. And of course, it's not.
It's not numbered, art, is it?
Oh, it's somewhere. All right. It's bad karaoke.
Yeah, it's like 52. Or
Yeah,
like it's in
I
the
thought it was
early
in the
50s. I think you're right.
Yeah. All right. So I won't spend time
close?
looking for this. We'll find it and cut it in post. I keep saying that
Just
over
go
the last
look in the
2
50s.
episodes. But
Just
yeah.
go scroll down, look for episode around the 50s, and look for bad karaoke.
See how
It's
well
in there.
I've prepared. I did a lot of preparation on the actual game, but then I should have wrote at the top. So the last time I did bad karaoke, I'm going to change it up just a little bit. So,
Oh, no.
What I did last time was read some lyrics. Then if you couldn't,
I know it's a 2 point if I got the lyrics
Right.
just from reading it. It was only 1 point if I got it when you sang it.
yes. So we're going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to sing every one of these because at the end of the game on that one, I just ended up singing.
Yeah, which is what I wish I would have thought of before we started the game, and I tried to give myself points for you not singing. I'm like, that was dumb. Just let him go.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
And that's what the people paid for, right?
That is. That's what the people want.
That's what they want. They want to hear this train wreck of singing going
You did
on.
great.
So
Last time I listened to this episode a little bit this morning, just for the record, because I thought
Nice.
it's hysterical. And I think it Ludacris or you're Outcast, whatever it was, when you're like, I think I can do this voice, and it's Outcast, and I'm like, oh my god, it was awesome. It was like
Nice.
it was the best one. So,
it's episode 27. I was a
oh
little
no,
off.
I thought it was in the 50s too.
And that was Bad Karaoke Game 90s edition.
Yeah,
So this one is going
27.
27. Yeah. Wow. I should have done another one. But I waited till 100. So this one is called the Crooning the Hits edition.
Oh, nice. So
So-
it's not the 90s anymore. It's crooning.
It's
the
all
hits.
it's all hits.
All right.
These are all hits that you know.
Okay.
Very popular.
Good.
But I'm going to croon them.
Good.
You know what crooning is?
Yeah, it's the old 40s 50s style.
Yeah. Think Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, but-
think the Rat Pack.
Yep.
So if you're familiar with
Mobster,
like how he sang
Vegas
My
style.
Way,
Yeah.
that is what we're going to do here. That's what I'm going to attempt to do.
I was trying to
And-
think of Michael Bublé in my head for some reason, like he's the most prolific
Yeah.
crooner of our time right
Right.
now. But yeah,
yes,
anyway. keep
yes,
going.
he is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing the lyrics in a crooning manner.
I love
and then you're
this.
going to try to
Love this
name
already.
the artist.
Okay. Artist only?
Artist first,
Okay.
because a few of these do have the name of the title in there. But if you can't think of the artist and you can name the song title, give yourself a point anyway.
Okay.
Okay. And this is where it all started. This very first one, we're going to get it kicked off with something that I just started singing one day, and my kids thought this was just the bee's knees. They thought that this was very entertaining. And I thought, well, if it worked for this one, maybe I can do it for more.
So if you're playing at home, get your piece of paper and,
That's right.
and pen ready, and then you can play along,
Or
right?
if you're in the car, just think about
Keep your score on yourself. Yeah. Just,
All right, so here we go. Here's the first one. Think of the artist or the song title if you can't. Again, this is bad karaoke,
Yep.
not good karaoke.
No,
I
this
make
is
no
crooner edition.
qualms about it. Crooning the hits. All right, here we go.
all right.
3, 6, 9. Damn, she's fine. Hoping she can sock it to me one more time. To the window, to the wall,
This is awesome.
till the sweat drop down my balls. Till all these women crawl. Y'all skeet, MFers. You all skeet, gosh darn.
So this song has such special meaning, and for the life of me, I cannot tell you the name of it right now, which is horrible.
That's awesome.
But the funny thing is they've been putting this song to all kinds of different songs, lately. And hold on.
All right.
To the windows, to the walls. Like it's hard to like listen and replay it in my head.
No, that's the idea, right? Like I'm trying to. Me crooning it throws it a little bit off.
No,
but-
it throws it way off. It's 100% working.
So who's the artist? Perhaps he's not tall. He's not tall. He's the opposite of tall. So what's the first word?
Short?
Lil.
Oh, is it Lil Wayne?
Lil Jon.
I don't
Very
know.
close. We're gonna have to.
Yeah,
give
you
a
just
big
give me the
negative
X
score
on this
that. And it is Get Low. Get Low is the name of that song.
right.
There are going to be a couple of people that really are going to be unbelievable that you didn't get that.
There's going to be a couple people in my family.
Right. And the fact you knew the song.
Not only do I know
so-
the song, I can like this thing plays at a certain place that we go every year.
Right.
Like, and it's their thing. There's an just for a short story behind it. There's a couple that says they have a whole lot of kids. And they're like, this is the thing that's caused us to have this song has caused us to have
Lots of babies.
an excessive amount of kids because this is our song. And I'm like, this shouldn't be your song anymore. You should stop listening to it.
You ready for the next one?
Yes, God.
All right, here we go.
I've got 0 points.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Is this Spice Girls?
All right.
Yes.
If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. Make it last forever, 'cause friendship never ends.
I like it crooned better almost.
Right. I
Nice.
love it. I'm going to try to start a new career right after
You should,
this.
right? Right after this, you got the good audio stuff, so you can.
All
do
right.
it.
Number 3.
Oh my God.
It's all the same, only the names will change. Every day, it seems we're wasting away. Another place where the faces are so cold. I'll drive all night just to get back home. I'm a cowboy.
On a steel horse you ride.
On a steel horse I ride.
I wanted. It's Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi.
All right.
Oh man, I had that song, but you are 100% right that it's hard to replay the real song in my head while I'm listening to you croon it.
And it's not a great job. It's probably
perfect.
doable. But
No, it's perfect. Killing
all
it.
right, need a little Thursday night incident there to
Yeah.
wet the whistle. All right. Here is number 4. Me and your daughter, we got this thing going on.
Oh wait, this is a throwback. This is Miss Jackson
You
by
say
Outkast.
it's puppy love.
Outkast.
We say it's
Ludicrous.
full grown.
Outkast.
Hope that we feel this way forever. You can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather. Miss Jackson.
Yeah,
All right. Very good.
I nailed
you
this
got
one.
a point.
that's awesome.
All
That was
right.
really well done, though. Really well done.
Oh, Michael Bublé, move over.
No kidding. You're gonna have to put out a Christmas album.
So, and again, I tried to make them hits as well. So
Yeah.
did I do that one in the bad karaoke?
You did.
Oh,
That's
because
why
I thought I looked back at my list and I thought it was the other Outkast song.
No,
Okay.
we did some Mick Jackson, and so that's why I said it's a throwback.
Okay, right
and
on.
So I unfortunately listened to it.
Excellent.
Today.
No worries. No worries. That's awesome. Here's number 5. Now John at the bar is a friend of mine. He gets me drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke or to light up your smoke. But there's some place that he'd rather be. He says, Bill, I believe this is killing me. As a smile ran away from his face. Well, I'm sure that I could be a movie star if I could just get out of this place.
So this is one of my favorite songs of all time.
I know. That's one of the reasons I put
I
it in
didn't
there.
want to. I didn't want you to stop singing this, so I just left it. This is Piano Man.
Excellent.
Oh, I love a good Piano Man.
Now, you're supposed to start with the artist.
Oh, sorry, Billy Joel Piano Man.
There you go. For those that are,
They're keeping track at home. Sorry.
yes, and making sure that they know the score. 'Cause they heard the rules, and some are stickler for rules.
Yeah, I doubt it.
All right.
Bunch of
We are rolling
Yeah, we're
here. So
killing
we're,
it.
We're doing well. Number 6. And I do, let's see, if you're wondering how many, I do have 10, but we're going pretty good. I felt I was going to try to kind of gauge whether I need to do them all, but we're doing pretty well.
All right, cool.
So close, no matter how far, couldn't be much more from the heart, forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters.
This is a little Metallica.
Never opened myself this way. Life is ours. We live it our way.
Nice.
And all these words I don't just say. And nothing else matters.
That's a little Metallica.
There you go.
Nothing
Very
else
good.
matters. It's a good song. Too.
You are killing it here. Only the first one out of the gate. Were
It's
you
a
a little after that? Were
I
you
was
like,
super nervous.
Right.
Then I got in my head, and I'm like, I can't do this game anymore.
I don't know how to translate crooning.
Yeah, we needed a practice run or something. All right.
So this one might be a little. I don't know. I think the other ones were definitely huge hits. This one was a huge hit too, but in crooning, not sure. We'll see how it translates.
Okay.
Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now. Oh, because my loneliness is killing me. I must confess, I still believe. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind. So give me a sign. Hit me, baby, just one more time.
So I think that's Brittany
Excellent.
Bees. Yeah, so that's Hit Me One More Time.
There you go.
I'll be
Hit me,
honest with you,
baby,
though.
one more time.
It took me 3/4 of the way through that song to figure that one out. That was a tough start for me. I'm like, oh no. I'm going to not end well in this. Anyway, so yeah.
No, you did great.
Nice.
Nice
job.
When it clicks, all of a sudden, like, is it the words? Because
Yeah.
like the crooning is probably what kind of throws it
So
off
if
a
you
little
want
bit.
the
but-
behind the scenes on this is, and I don't know if this is the way anybody else's brain works. So I'm waiting to piece words into. I know the lyric, and then I almost have to shut you off and put that lyric into a song. So I'm in the background going, "Hit me, baby." That's Britney Spears. Like in my head, I'm trying to
Right.
sing it before you can get to it because then I know you'll ruin it when you croon it, right? Like I'm like, I can't have you sing it or say it anyway. So yeah, I'm trying to get ahead of you with a lyric.
Yes, and I feel like that's what I would be doing too. And I'm forcing myself to do the
Yeah,
crooning.
I don't know how you're doing it.
And again,
Because there's a rhythm to those songs so well. It's
Right.
hard not to sing them in the rhythm that they're sung.
yeah, exactly.
So you're crushing that part because I'm like that Britney song. I'm like, it took me a while to go. Oh, anyway. So
All right,
Nice.
number 8.
yeah,
All right, so 3 more to go.
okay.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train, going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train, going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume.
What it
For
smell
a
like?
smile, they can share the night. It goes on and on and on.
I love the ending of that one for you. That's Journey.
They're very good. And the song?
It's Don't Stop Believing.
Exactly.
It's on my top 5.
It's up there, yeah. And Sopranos finale. That's why I love it.
Okay.
A part of I like the song too, but man, it really.
So if
when I hear that, I just think of that Sopranos finale.
If anybody wants the best version of that ever, it's the Jimmy Fallon, Will Ferrell sitting in the audience of the Jimmy Fallon show, and Jimmy Fallon sings it, and Will Ferrell's playing an audience member who can't keep his thoughts to himself, and so he's responding back to every lyric of the song. It's hysterical. Look that up on YouTube. Will Ferrell and Jimmy Fallon. Okay, go.
All right, I think you're going to get this one by the lyrics, but it made me laugh thinking to croon this, so here we go.
All right.
Number 9. Go, shorty. It's your birthday. We're going to party like it's your birthday. We're going to sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give a hoot. It's not your birthday. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Look, mommy, I got the X if you into taking drugs. Because I'm into having sex. I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug if you into getting rubbed.
Wow. When you croon those lyrics, they become real inappropriate.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like slowing down lyrics sometimes is not a great thing because when you say it out, I'm like, when you say it and it's fast. Anyway, so I believe that's 50 Cent.
Yes, it is. In the club. And I apologize for those in the car of the persuasion that would find my crooning just overly erotic,
sensual.
Yeah. Sensual. You might, don't run off the road from laughing. All right, here's number 10.
All right,
and the final. So do you have 9 out of 10? So
I have
far?
9 out of 10
Excellent
so far.
job.
I've done all right.
I think you're going to get this one too. I know you're going to, but let's have fun crooning it.
I love it.
Love is like a bomb, baby, come and get it on. Love, living like a lover with a radar phone. Looking like a tramp, like a video vamp. Demolition woman, can I be your man? I can do that razzle and dazzle and flash a little light. Television lover, baby, go all night. Sometime, anytime, sugar me sweet. Little Miss Innocent, sugar me. Yeah.
So if I got this one wrong, and if I do, I'm gonna go with it's Def Leppard, Pour Some Sugar on Me. If I got that one wrong, my sister would probably kill me. Right. She brought that record home, or that. Yeah, back then it was probably a record. Maybe it was a tape. I don't really know. Whenever she brought that home, I said, "This is the crappiest music I've ever heard." And she goes, "Shut up! This is where music's going, or something." And I'm like, and like 2 weeks later, I'm like, "This is the best song ever!" Like, anyway, so
they just won't stop playing it on MTV.
Oh my god, it just got played,
or the radio,
played.
But I just remember MTV because that was the age where. I think we had a
to wait
summer
for
off,
videos, yeah.
And so like we were coming in and out of the house that I was getting babysat at, and they had MTV, and every time we came in the house, Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Oh my god,
was on
everywhere.
And now every wedding, it's like the jam.
Yeah,
between that and Don't Stop Believing, really, I think those two really get the party jazzed.
That gets the white people going. Is the little Pour Some Sugar on Me.
All right.
From our generation, at least.
Did you have fun?
Yeah,
with that one?
I love it. 100% yes.
All right. Well, I had fun doing it. And I hope that wasn't so terrible that you just had to turn down the radio for the singing.
No, the crooning was priceless.
Hope entertaining. All right. So, what do you think of this beer? Because we got other cans to get to.
We gotta get to other stuff. So,
Thursday Night Incident.
So Thursday Night Incident, it will be one of my favorite and prized cans. We try to save all the cans from this show, so I've got a giant box full of empty cans at home. I don't know. It's gonna be one of my favorite cans. Will not be some of my favorite contents. It's I don't know. It's still got. It's not as hoppy as I would have thought, but it is
double IPA.
but it's full flavored. It's a little thicker. So not to prolong this out, we got other crap to get to. This is going to be it's probably a 2, but it's close. It's probably almost a 3 for me. I'm going to go with 2 for now.
Okay. I am going to give it a 3. I think the double IPA is the way to go. And if they had triple and quadruple, and maybe that would take away from what makes an IPA because it has that hoppiness.
Just keep
ending.
filtering it.
Once you get that bitter,
it's the bitter.
And once you start playing that down for us, that's what we tend to gravitate towards. If someone had a party on a Thursday night and they called it an incident and they wanted to just serve this all night, I would not be mad. And I think that deserves a 3 for me. Oh yeah, I mean, and it's full. It's definitely very full flavored.
It doesn't taste horrible. Like it's not bad.
So I would hope I hadn't had a large dinner before I went to that party.
Yeah,
because otherwise, if I had 2 of these, I wouldn't be able to walk very well. I'd feel
They're heavier.
heavy.
Yeah,
and bloated.
they're heavier.
Okay, excellent.
All right. What do you think? Do we need to pull something else out then?
Yep. So here, let's do one of your cans, another one of yours, and then let me. Where'd my pencil go? All right, I got more stuff for this episode than I normally do. So thank you for hanging with us here. And you gave that a 2. So, all right. So let's do another can and another movie quote.
All right.
See if you remember this one.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
One of my favorite music beds, but I only really use it for Cinco de Mayo. So I brought it back.
Yeah, why not?
I love this.
it.
I'm going to let this one play out for a couple seconds.
Yeah, you do whatever you need to. All right.
As it plays out here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some behind the scenes, favorite episodes, episode run through ish. And just talk a bit about some of our episodes. But I kind of wanted to start. So whenever I watch a TV show, and I hope this entertains other people, and hopefully this works. So we're going to try a little something goofy here. And so one of the things that I love when I watch other TV shows or things that are coming to an end, or just things I really like, are some of the behind the scenes that maybe they do for a bonus or an extra. So if you ever wondered what the behind the scenes were here, we're going to do just a real quick tour of some of the behind the scenes. So
you got to be watching us on YouTube. If you're sitting on a podcast only, pause for a minute.
Well, I am going to talk audio through it.
Okay,
a little bit.
All
I
right.
mean, so
I'm just saying,
I don't want
to see the stuff though.
There will be some of that. So I am going to overlay some of this. And
okay, good. Cool.
So you'll see my handheld cam here and hear the audio, and yep. And then what I'll do is splice it in. But we are going to try to explain sort of what we're doing here for those who are on audio. But anyway, so what I want to do first is show that. So a little behind the scenes. After our first episode, we didn't have these fun curtains up.
No.
I wanted to tell the story of these fun curtains because they're behind us in the episodes where you can see. And if you're a early listener of ours, we did some real early video, and they were different colors because we were just messing around with the video. And then once we got the video down, we're like, hey, we got to put up with something that makes a little sense, so we changed them to gray. But the reason for these are not just the video, but because that first episode was super echoey.
Yeah, it was real ringing.
You could really hear everything bouncing off the walls. So these were my attempt to harness in the audio.
Yeah.
And so I attached these things to the ceiling, and it does a wonderful job.
Yeah.
We have them all around us, and it harnesses in the audio without letting it bounce off the hard surfaces. So I just thought that would be kind of fun.
Yep.
Here's my board. And you don't get to see this in the video, but what you do get to see, and this is what I thought would be fun, is sometimes if you ever watched a video and you see Steven's eyes darting around, it is because he's keeping a check on me on whether I've hit the button or not.
That's what I do.
Yeah, and so what you'll see here is here's my board, and there's a lot of buttons going on here with some of the audio. I also wanted to show that we have the alien.
The alien's still there.
He hangs out with us,
which we've had the story before on our show.
That's right.
So that's cool.
And here is my little stream deck that helps me with the video piece of it. So we have that, and you can see I made all my little icons there, so that's kind of fun. And then here's my soundboard for all my fun sounds and what starts the show, the music, and the things that I play. So if I want to play...
Could be a crackhead.
Oh, your favorite.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite.
Could be a crackhead.
The newer one that I put in there.
Boom. Roasted.
So those are good. And we also got a...
Cannonball it. Cannonball coming. Cannonball coming.
Here's what's funny. I played that movie line, and we did not even introduce the beer. But you can see it.
Oh my God!
So do you want to
what are we doing here?
Here's a little behind the scenes. We got it. We got to have a beer.
We have a beer. So for those listening, sorry, we've got a lot going on tonight. So I actually brought something that I couldn't let go and not have on the podcast. So I actually brought natural light because we've told a ton of stories and things from our past growing up and like college days and high school days. And early on, we can't afford a whole lot of beer, and you drink what you can afford. And we've had Mad Dog on here before. We had some stuff from blast from past. We've not had natural light, and I could not let this podcast end without having natural light on here because it was something I grew up on. So I brought it because we're going to do it, and I don't care if it's natural light. We're doing it. So
16 Florida ounces.
16 Florida ounces of natural light, and I'm not going to. You guys know whatever. It's basically, I don't know, 1% alcohol by volume and tastes like deer urine. I don't know what
you know what
natural light, right?
This is going to be a real change of pace.
This is going to be a palate cleanse with some water.
All right. So I'm going to sort of finish up the behind the scenes so we can get back to our regular video and talk about some of our episodes. But here is, I thought you might get a kick out of our video rig. So when I put this together, my goal, what I'm showing on the screen now is a boom arm that connects down to the brains of the operation here, what's going on. And so the boom arm has a little setup on top of it that has our GoPros. And I tried to kind of kept it minimalistic, so that we could
super minimalistic. Well, it's 3 GoPros with 4 lights attached to the top of them, all with cords coming out of it. Super minimalist.
But it's pretty tight. I got the cords run down, and it's like here's my view when I'm doing the show, so I can still look at Steven. Steven can still look at me, and not have these get too in the way or bogged down. So.
We're looking just past cameras all the time, right? So we're never looking at camera. We're looking just past camera.
And we have a lot of light on there. You can see each camera has its own light for those on. And then we have an extra studio little light here. So that helps lighten everything up. So again, that's pretty much the behind the scenes. Did you have anything you wanted to add? You didn't really show the table, but here we go. Yeah,
we have little cushions so that we don't make noise when we put our cans down on this table. So yeah, you've thought of everything so that we have soundproof cushions. And then it's just a bunch of papers and whatever we've got going on around here, right? Like we have the breathalyzer that's hooked to my keychain. So if we need to take a breathalyzer at any point, that was from one of the episodes we did when you brought breathalyzers. I don't remember which episode that was, but that was fun. So yeah, the breathalyzer is always here. It's a clean little setup with a lot of electronics.
All right, I'm going to take a moment, pause this for a minute, and then we'll get back to our regular
scheduled programming.
All right. So we've switched back from handheld cam into regular setup here. So hopefully you got a kick out of that, or at least for people like me.
Some techie nerd out there is like, dude, I want to see the setup. So now you've seen it.
Yeah, and it's it kind of segues into where I was going to go with some of what I was going to talk a little bit about, because I wanted to ask you. Well, I'll hit the episodes, but one of the things I wanted to ask you, I thought would be fun to tell people is, remember when we first started this here broadcast?
Yep.
And we got down and we're getting ready for episode 1, and I said, here are the rules.
I do,
because we just need to have a little bit of semblance.
Yeah, you said some ground
some
rules.
order.
Yeah.
What do you remember the main rules there?
I think it was, we're not going to talk specifically about our location. At one point, we're not going to say these set of bad words that
was the big one
that keep you from having to that would make you have to do a bunch of extra paperwork to go, this is R-rated, basically. Just, it's going to be a family show. Make it a family show.
Right.
That was one.
Something we're okay to, we want our kids perhaps, because they were a little younger at the time, obviously a little bit more grown. If they ever have kids, and they go, hey, do you want to hear your grandparents, something that they wouldn't be like, oh, we can't really have them listen to this until they're adults.
Yep.
And if you were in the car, with your kids, we thought of that you could put it on the radio, or could put it out loud, and you wouldn't have to be constantly wondering whether we were going to say something that your kids would pick up and repeat. So, but what made me laugh is, we sort of did hey, we're just going to go with it and not talk a lot about our actual surroundings, because I feel like a lot of the podcasts that are what we are, we're in a basement here in the basement studio. But what I found when I was listening to them, because I would listen to amateur podcasts and go, what is it that they're doing that I'm going, I could cut that out. It was, they would always reference what's going on around them and the technology and the stuff, which we do a little bit. And I think we've probably gotten more used to doing that in the show of I forgot to hit this button. I forgot to bring in a beer like we just did.
Yeah. Perfect example. Episode 100, all the rules went out the window. So
I thought I would take this last and final episode to break that rule sort of and go, here, let's just show what this looks like, how the cheese is made.
I do think I remember you having a conversation going, hey, we don't just talk about the weird crap that's happening around us. Let's just have a conversation like we used to do. We put a phone down on the thing and we just had a beer and go, I want to talk about this. Right. Go. That's what we're going to talk about. Yeah. Which I think we've done pretty well at.
Oh, yeah. I mean, considering all of this contraption that
there's a lot of and that's why the first 4, 5, 6 episodes were super uncomfortable. Is trying to get used to all of and we didn't even have cameras back then. It was just microphones and buttons and lights, and did you press the right thing? And I don't know. It's weird. It was weird. It's not weird anymore, for sure.
Right. Yeah. So I hope you got a kick out of that. The other things I put down here that sort of behind the scenes is, which I already mentioned a little bit, is that Steven keeps me honest on all the buttons. I also put on here that Steven hits his mic all the time.
Constantly. I'm a fidgeter.
Sometimes you can see it when his reaction hits. Maybe you can hear it every once in a while, although I'll listen back and I can't pick it out. But it makes me laugh when I see it jump and you kind of look down and go, oh my gosh, I just kicked this microphone pretty hard. All right. Do you have anything behind the scenes before we talk a little bit about episodes and stuff?
I think people probably see you looking down and you come with a pre-printed, highlighted thing that says, this is how I want to walk through. It's an outline basically of the episode, right? I have this, which is, I know for people watching, they're like, whatever that is. It is a college rule notebook.
A composition book.
Yeah, with our sticker on the front of it. And we are, all of this is just, I don't know if people can see it.
Notes.
Just notes.
So lined paper full of notes.
So Andrew sometimes will show up with a page or two of hey, this is what I think the thing is. And I'll come with we should talk about X. And he's like, okay, what do you want to talk about? I'm like, let's just see where it goes. It's pick your own journey. So just different styles. And I've gotten better at printing things out. I have a whole stack of printouts that I've one pagers that I'll bring now that I've gotten better at it.
Yeah.
Over the course of 100 episodes. So
we definitely have our individual styles, and
Yeah.
it just highlights sort of, I think, the people that we are.
Yeah.
And the project manager role of, okay, I need an itinerary, I need an agenda, I like to be prepared. But I do feel like that's helped in
it does.
our thing is some of that. But then the balance there is right, is like, hey, we don't always have to be so regimented. Right, we can balance that with, hey, let's just tell some stories on this, or let's just here's something that is an emotional, sort of topic, but let's keep it light and fun and just go.
Yeah.
Right.
So the funny thing is I think you and I agree on a lot of issues. We're very different the way we operate, and so we're yin and yang on the way we operate. But your career choice has a little more structure to it. My career choice tells people that, like, we have a different approach to things. So we tell people the beauty is not in the process, the beauty is in the discussion. So how do you get to the discussion? So I think that's where you and I kind of, people are like, oh, you have a decent banter back and forth. You're like, what's the plan there? And we sit down and talk. We have, like, you bring topics, you're like, I want to talk about these outlined things. And I'm like, great, let's figure out where we are. Sometimes I leave leave going, I wish I would have been better prepared for that conversation. And sometimes you're like, Steven, I wish you were better prepared for that conversation. But yeah, so that's just how we work. We're just different.
Excellent. Well, I wanted to take just a rifle through some episodes
Cool.
and just hit a few of my high points, and I'll let Steven sort of do the same.
Cool.
So again, this is number 100. We've done a lot of episodes. So
Yep.
looking back at the list, and it's amazing how much ground we've covered. Starting out in episode 2, when I think we sort of set the tone with shower habits, and
Oh, my
we
God.
still have discussion about that. And that was our episode 2. And people will still bring up the things that we talked about, and we're like, hey, you guys got a little bit personal there, and which I thought was funny. Because when we started this, I was like, well, I don't have much to hide, right? Like, I'm pretty open about, I know some of the things I do are weird. If I grab my wife's soap and I use it, I can laugh that off. I don't have a problem with it.
And what I think is funny
know.
is that you and I came into this going, we're having this is a conversations we were having anyway.
Right.
We just decided to publicize them.
right.
But we didn't change the way we had like weird stuff we talked about. And then we'd go upstairs and, talk to people. And we're like, oh, we just did an episode on this. And they're like, you talked about that? Like, what is wrong with you?
yeah,
I don't even think about it.
We're not trying to.
I just thought it was funny.
One of the things I think, we'll get to a little bit later when we finish it out. We'll talk a little bit about overall, our final thoughts on the podcast. But so I'll talk about it there a little bit. But we didn't try to set out to change people, like have an agenda of changing minds or sharing news or telling a murder mystery. It was supposed to be a getaway from that kind of thing.
Yep.
And just a fun conversation that you would have with a friend when you got to take a break from some of the reality that is harsh.
I heard a good comment the other day that was, you guys have a conversation that I don't have to be a part of, but I can think about your all's opposing views. So, like, the ability to say, I don't have to be in a spirited debate or an argument about something. We talk about religion, or we talk about politics, or we talk about aliens. It's nice to be free from the discussion, to hear a bunch of vantage points and then go, that's not really where I'm at, or that's exactly where I'm at, or I'm kind of there. Like, it's like, that's kind of a cool perspective, is I can observe and absorb and not have to interact if I don't want to.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Episode 3 was the first time we talked about, do aliens exist?
Which they do.
That never went away. So a recurring theme that I love started early and was one of those things that we probably most differ on. Number 5, I just got a kick out of. It was one of the first times where I really tried to get you a bit, because one of my favorite things is just to see if I can throw something out and get your reaction that is either laughing or whatever. And episode 5 was, why do you sleep with your wife? And I just started with that, right? And it took a moment.
It did.
For you to like figure out, what the heck where are we going with that?
Well, and because the rules were fresh in my head,
Exactly.
right? Like, you can't tell me the rules and like, hey, family friendly, and then you're like, why do you sleep with your wife? And I'm like, well,
Right.
yeah.
One of my favorite things that keeps coming up now as well is episode 12, Iron Eagle versus Top Gun.
That should never come up again.
And one of my favorite things was not that long ago. I think it was Prime. I brought up Prime, and Iron Eagle was listed under romantic comedies, and I took a screenshot, sent it to everybody I knew.
Iron Eagle or Top Gun?
Oh, Top Gun.
Because Iron Eagle.
Did
should
I say
be
Iron Eagle?
You did.
Oh,
and
my
which
bad.
I love that you've switched sides on this whole thing. Nice.
Episode 17 is where I think we came out of the gate going, hey, we don't mind if we have a strong opinion on something. That would have been where Steven went on a bit of a rant, talking about vaccination.
Was that vaccines? Yeah, that was a brutal one.
Mask mandates and some other things that were in there. Abortion made a small appearance.
I was on a roll.
Right. So not to be outdone on episode 19, I'm going to have a healthcare rant, and I fired
you did
back
too,
on that.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
we actually had a doctor give us a little bit of feedback on that one. I was like, well, that's my opinion.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? That was awesome.
Yeah. Which is great. And I love the feedback, but I was like, well,
that's
tell me
cool.
why I'm wrong here.
That was Dr. Randy. He's my buddy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Episode 24, Steven's marriage survey feedback. That was something that then also kept kind of coming back, around that we talked about quite a lot. Episode 37 was one of my favorites. When is it okay to lie? Because I thought that was a real good test. It was a good morals thing of where
It's a
we
fun
could go.
moral dilemma question.
Yeah, something that we probably in life would have just been like, we shouldn't lie. But then and I said, let's break it down a little bit.
But you should.
Yeah, yeah.
We came away going, we're going to be liars.
One of my favorites was episode
Maybe.
39, Is Happiness Achievable or Overrated?
Yep.
Just personally, and I don't know that everyone will get that. It's not like I think I can go on a circuit and kind of be the next Tony Robbins or anything with that, but I do believe in sort of the theory that I presented there.
Yeah.
We went into politics a lot in 51. It was the first time we were just like, hey, let's go right
We were
into politics.
50 episodes in before we hit politics. That's awesome.
Politics and the way that I think did it there, because we kind of hinted on it with some. I mean,
Yeah,
we sort of touched
on it, but not.
Right.
I agree.
Number 52 was awesome. Cussing without cussing, which I know if Steven had to do it, he would bring that and do it again, because I kind of didn't let him know that was going to be a thing, and I just started doing it. And then after a while, if I recall what you said, you were like, "Oh, I picked it up," but I felt it was a little late in there, and then I really got going.
So these are your highlights, right?
This is my highlight reel.
All right. We're gonna do low lights.
Sure.
That one made my low light reels. Just so I don't want to jump
so
ahead,
good,
but that would, if I could do one over again, I think I could be so much better on that episode. I could not get my crap together. I could not get my S together.
Right.
Oh my God.
Number
Anyway.
62 is the first time we went live. We did our live show, Things We Love to Hate, and it was fun.
Live show was fun.
And we did a bunch of live shows, I guess. By saying a bunch, it was, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9, which was really good.
That's cool.
You won the lottery of life.
Yeah.
I really thought that was a good one.
That was a good
Episode
one.
74. And, I wish I would have won the Powerball that night or the next night, whenever
Yeah.
the drawing was, because that was part of the whole point. Was
It was.
we had won the lottery
Because
in
it
our
was
minds.
$1.4 billion
It was
or something
so
stupid.
much stupid money.
Yeah.
We did a live episode on 86 World's Worst Job Interview. I highlighted this one because I think it was the first time that I wrote what I thought were sort of jokes, right? Like
Okay.
if you said,
so it was like a personal thing,
it was because I got a kick so much out of writing the world's worst interview questions.
Yeah.
And I thought, if there was an episode, and I'm not trying to say I'm good enough to write jokes for any kind of sitcom or whatever, but I was like, hey, if there was a skit on Saturday Night Live, this would be the one I would try to do. Right. And I was actually writing down jokes, and I'd never really written down jokes before.
Right. So kind of a personal accomplishment there too.
It was like, hey, can I write things that are funny,
purposely
before
funny,
I do it,
but smart.
Right.
And you have to, cool.
And then episode 95 will live on in infamy with that was politics and my hot takes on current events, not knowing very much about politics and news. So and then here we are, and the family one, obviously it was great.
The family one
and
was
I had
awesome.
a ton of fun, and I had fun with all the guests. I'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah. So you want me to do my highlights?
Yeah,
All right, so I only have 3 big bullets.
Okay.
So we can talk about we'll get to yours and it's like the other one in a second. But one is every single bonus episode I've listened back to again has made me laugh out loud a lot in public. Like, so I will give you a couple episodes. Was that your Mercedes? And you're like, that wasn't my Mercedes. Like, those are like, we talked about my Blue Bay naked resort story from my anniversary trip. We talked about like Kringle Cream was a good episode. That's where we introduced the breathalyzers.
Yeah.
We had dumpster fire. So who's more likely to? And I was just probably way more honest than I probably should have been. But we were at the end of the night. We'd already had multiple beers and shots, probably. Who knows? And so like those episodes were funny they're funny to listen back to for me because I'm like, we were really shooting from the hip on some of this stuff. So every bonus episode makes my highlight list.
Nice.
Like they're just fun to listen back to. Just personally, I think they're hysterical. And we picked some weird stuff like to do. Like we had all the little cans of whatever were fun, just super fun. Bad karaoke is a highlight. We already did that on this show. You didn't know that was on my highlight reel. So, but I listened back to that episode. I've listened back to it twice now because it's made me laugh both times. One, for the amount of work that you put in to do that episode. And like you got all different weird genres and like there's a Boyz II Men, there's a Seal song, and there's like, you were all over the map. But like there was Bryan Adams on that first one. It was everywhere. And I was like, I didn't know where you were going to go with this and like how committed you were going to be. And so it threw me off when you're like, I'm committed to singing this crap. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, he is. Anyway, so bad karaoke makes my highlight list. And then our guests were really fun because they did something different. So we had Deb, my sister, we had Sass and Billy and Keith and Andy. Mm-hmm. And then we had all of our families on. Right. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did, right?
I don't think so. That sounded like, we had, Keith, Sass, Andy, Billy, Deb, our family.
Yeah. So I had a good, like when my sister came and she's like, I'm bringing all of our guests came, like, except for Keith, and no fault of Keith. He was the early guest, right?
Yeah.
And so, but like everybody else came, like, we're bringing our own stuff. Right. Like came all, like Keith was a great guest. Loved him to death. He was our first he was our experiment guest, unfortunately. But yeah, but like everybody else, like Andy came like just guns a-blazing. Like I'm bringing stuff and we're talking, like came with 3 cans and a margarita mixer and like he was guns a-blazing. Love that. So
yeah, that was
we
awesome.
had fun. Like it was just our guests were fun and it mixed it up for us a little bit. So that made my highlight reel. That's my top 3. So what do you got on that?
Those are, all great. Hit me with the lowlights.
Oh, my lowlights. You ready? Yeah. I tried to keep this really condensed, so I only have 3. I already told you one, the cussing episode. If I can go back and redo one,
right?
I think I could kick the S out of that one. I would love to take another swing at the cussing episode. Mad Dog 2020. I can't believe we did Mad Dog on this show. I can, and then I can't. That episode was
using the word can. It's hilarious.
I know, right?
Because it was a can of Mad Dog.
It was brutal. It was a brutal can. It was a brutal one. And then I think the first 5 episodes, I love them. They're on my lowlights, but they're also if I had to change lowlights to be learning lights, I think we learned a lot from 5 episodes and we pivoted well. It's just painful for me to listen back to those and I go, we're way better. I feel like we're way better now. And like the things that you've done with technology on this podcast, I know people are like, oh, it sounds like a podcast. You don't get it. Like the video work that's been done, all the images on all the episode images that are
artwork.
Dope. All the artwork's awesome. Like it's so much. You got a drinking problem there? Just throw beer in your
natural
eye?
light on my face.
Anyway, so I think the first 5 episodes they made my lowlights, but they're also just they're where we cut our teeth and learned and like I don't like this, I like that. Let's cut it down to 1 can per night or 1 can per episode. Let's do something a little different. Like we mixed it up after the first 5. I liked them way better after that. So yeah, that's my 3 lowlights.
Excellent.
What do you got?
I didn't really do a lowlights like you did, but if I just had to think through. You reminded me because I didn't really on the behind the scenes. This isn't really low lights, but what I just wanted to bounce off what you said, is a lot of the technology stuff has been a large learning curve. So the episodes aren't necessarily low lights, but there's been technology things that we've had to overcome. And even tonight, the last one, Murphy's Law, where we have freezing up video stuff that's happening, and I'm having to fix stuff. It's one thing I won't miss. We're going to talk a little bit later about some of that. When we kind of close things out. But I've loved learning about all of the stuff it takes to do.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick an episodes, they were all so good.
Which ones did you hate?
And the only one I think that I thought was a serious low light, we just never published.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it a couple times. The
it almost
episode.
made my low lights list, but I'm like, nobody else knows why it's a low light.
Yeah. But we rebounded. And we took that same topic later on. It started as a bonus episode, and also for behind the scenes. Bonus episodes were when we would miss like a Thursday and we'd move it for whatever scheduling purpose, and we'd make it a Saturday or Friday or Saturday, and we didn't have to go to work the next day. And so we didn't care how much we drank. So we would just at the end, when we're like, "Are we done?" And we're like, "But I could drink more because it's Saturday or it's Friday, and I don't have to be anywhere tomorrow." Let's turn on the mics and do a bonus.
Yeah. We have a can. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go run another 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are where those were. And if we sounded, and I named the first one, we went off the rails because I said, well, we're going to go off the rails a little bit because I know I got a serious buzz.
Yeah. and there was
the cliff. I can see the edge of the cliff. I hope I don't run off of it while we're talking.
But what I loved about the bonus episodes, maybe is it time for a tiny can? Do we rate this one first?
Yeah. Well,
we're not there yet. I'm not skipping ahead.
No. Yes. As soon as we kind of close this out. Yeah.
We'll rate this. Okay. So my favorite thing about the tiny can episodes or bonus episodes is that most of the first 3 or 4 that we did were all follow-up stories. They're like, we talked about this for a second. Can you tell me so they may not be funny to anybody else, but I listened to a couple of them today again and I laughed hysterically. I'm like, is that your Mercedes? You're like, that's not my Mercedes. Right. And you're like, drove off in a Cavalier. Like, that story's hysterical. Like, that's funny
stuff. The craps table on fire.
The craps, yeah. Well, yeah, we didn't even mention your tall
GPS getting, I remember doing that one.
That was one.
And everybody does get a kick out of your vacation story.
Yeah, we've got a comment about that, like on the last episode when we're going to, like, if you need whatever. So, yeah, we still get comments about some of the stuff that happened on bonus episodes. They're just crazy stories that happen to you in life. And now that's on record that my kids will have forever, which is great because I don't have that for my dad.
Right.
Like that'll be cool to have all of my weird stories on.
And shout out to Andy, who's the one that got in touch with us and said how I couldn't believe you didn't ask Jen about the naked resort when she was on the podcast. And, exactly. That was our bad. We dropped the ball on that one. I should have. That would have been priceless, to get her take.
Shout out to Andy, who's been on point with the podcast most of the time. He's been like, he fires on all cylinders. He's got Drinks with Andy. If you ever on Instagram, check him out because he does all kinds of cool crap on Instagram too. So check him out.
And Billy too.
Billy.
Yeah, he's a big fan and gives us all kinds of great feedback and laughs with us on a lot of stuff.
Not only was he on, he provided a bunch of cans too. He came to my house one day and was like, here, I've got all these cans. Can you do these? These are from the Dallas area. I'm like, sure. So we spread them out and we did 3 or 4 cans from Billy too. So which was dope.
Yeah. Awesome. So shout out to both of you guys. Much appreciated. So let us let's just throw a number on this, and we don't have to get into natural light. Everybody knows it. I'm going to give it a 2. In a pinch, it does, but I'm not going to go buy it. I haven't bought it since I was probably in early college, or if I was at a float trip and nothing else was available at the little local mart that, you run out of the beer that's on the river and you're like, hey, I got to keep this party going a little bit, but it's some rural podunk town that only has one little gas station and all it has is like
18 cases of natural light. So.
And some, a couple other things maybe that I'm like, that's too sugary. I just need beer. So I'm going to give it a 2. What say you?
I say 3. I'm giving it a 3. And not only that, it's as good as the day I drank it when I was 17, or whatever I was. But I will also say that Natural Light has natter days, which are also good on a boat, which we've talked about on a boat kind of beers. So I thought Natural Light needed to make an appearance on this podcast. It now has. You gave it a 2. I'm giving it a 3 because I'm sticking with it. I'll drink it.
Awesome.
I dogged on it kind of, but I'm drinking it anyway.
I didn't get too much into it. Everybody knows that one.
It's natural.
But what we're going to do now is we're going to take a tiny can. We're going to slam it or drink it fast. It's small, but the best part of these here, this one's yours.
Oh, good.
So these are I found these little cans I believe on vacation, and they're called Buzz Balls. So if you've ever seen those out there, the best part about these is that they're plastic, which isn't a normal can, right? Because most everything is aluminum.
Yep.
But the top has the top of a can on it.
It's the weirdest thing ever.
So you do have to pop the top.
Yeah, so it's a can top, but a plastic ball bottom.
Right. So I feel like it met the criteria of being a can because it had this pop top on it. But it's a little tiny thing. It only has 200 milliliters. It is 15%, at least on mine. So I have peach balls.
It says it's Shake Well because it's women owned. I don't know if those two things go together, but
it really says that?
Literally says women owned Shake Well. I don't. They might be separate. I don't know.
Right. There's like it's a different line, but
I have a ball.
I'm gonna try to knock mine out here because it's like 200 milliliters. So you tell what your actual flavor is while I drink mine, and then I'll talk about mine while you drink yours.
So mine is a Buzz Ball cocktail strawberry Rita. So, oh my God, you are going to drink the whole thing. Holy crap.
Done.
Premium tequila, vodka with natural flavors, certified colors, because I don't drink things that aren't certified colors. And then, and FD and C yellow, number 5. So there you go.
You went way more. So
is that what you wanted from me?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Mostly that you're a big margarita fan. You can just continue to drink.
Great.
Great. Drink it down. You're a big margarita fan, so I got yours as a strawberry Rita, and it's and mine, like I said, is a peach balls. So I just had mine, and it put a little hair on my tongue, and it was good. If you've been listening to the show, you know I like peach. So that's, if you're on a boat, and I know we use the boat analogy quite a lot.
Everybody needs a boat.
Or if you're just we don't party like we used to, right? Like I guess if you're at a college party and there was a cooler full of these bad boys, I could imagine just walking by and grabbing some balls every once in a while.
Yeah.
Just grab one, open it, chug it.
I think you'd only need 2 balls. Just to be fully clear, these are 15% alcohol by volume. 2 balls and you're good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's hard to gauge how much is in it. It says 200 milliliters, but how much are those airplane? Are those 100?
These are probably 3 shots.
3 of those?
3.
Okay. Oh, well, we took it, and it was good.
I didn't realize we were going to do that as a shot. Awesome.
Well, we got a lot of cans, so I figured
let's start moving.
Let's move through it. So I'm going to give that one.
Oh my God, we got to rate this already. I'm not even ready. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to give that one a 4 for a can shot. Right? Because if you're going to do shots, sometimes pouring them is a bit messy. So this is beautiful. You just take it out of your freezer or your like if you put it in there just to get it nice and cold, or take it out of your fridge and it's nice and cold. You pop it, you open it. It's a bit bigger than your average shot, but man, it really got the job done.
It's a 5 for me. And here's why. For one, anything that says Buzz Balls on it, you should try. It actually was good. You can tell it's strong. Like it's legit.
Yeah.
It's not messing with you, but it's not that much to drink. It's probably 2 or 3 full shots. So brilliant packaging.
Yeah.
Like brilliant
Buzz Balls.
The right size. Like this is a pregame before you go do.
Oh yeah.
This is a 47-year-old man's pregame.
Oh yeah.
Before I go do sit by a fire for the night and drink beer or something.
Or even pregame if you're tailgating.
Yeah,
and you're having a regular beer, but you're like, hey, I just want to put something fun on this, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to. That's kind of a party thing, right? Is a social, right? Everybody get the shot. It's perfect for those
all day long. It's a 5. That's why it's a 5. I'm gonna push this on people.
You could throw it to people.
I'm gonna ask you where you found this and probably order some.
Perfect. Okay,
because that thing's dope. That's awesome.
All right.
My goodness.
So that was
where did we go from Buzz Balls?
Can.
Yeah, it was.
All right. Let's do.
Man.
Let's do another can. You have a can.
Oh my God, we got
full size.
We got We're gonna be on my third,
Yeah.
right? You're okay with that?
Yeah. That's why I put that buzzball in there at the end of as almost like a shot thing, so that we could have a real can here to sip on while we do a game. We're gonna do one more game in this episode. Oh, this is awesome. And for anybody just listening to the audio, I wish you could. This is going to be one of my favorite cans ever. Pants off, dance off. Shut the front door.
It's a cream ale with
I rate this 5.
pistachios.
Oh, that peach ball's kicking in.
Oh, it's kicking my butt already.
Pants off, dance off. Cream ale with pistachio. 1 pint has the pants separated from a naked man dancing on the can, but not naked. It's a naked silhouette, so
Yeah,
you can.
it's a stick
It's
figure
not too
guy, kinda.
unfriendly for family. It has
There's
a lot
also
of,
a skirt over there too. Just for the record, there's pants and a skirt.
Oh,
with
yeah, I
a,
don't wanna
with a gender neutral stick figure person.
Yeah.
And with the rock on hands. Anyway,
brewed and packaged by Millstream Brewing in Iowa. Pistachio flavoring added. Recycle me, zigzaggy, oi oi oi.
What are you reading?
I'm reading these colorful things
Oh
on the
my
side.
god, that's awesome.
And so, yeah, man, oof.
It's
If I
one-
don't give this a 5, because this is the
It's 1 pint. I have no idea. Like, I have no idea what this is going to taste like. But it's
right.
I had to have it.
Okay,
It had to be.
yes.
And it had to be on the show,
Man, you found some good ones. Cream ale with pistachio.
right?
This
It's super weird.
Right. You could have stopped at cream ale, and I'm like, okay. And then you're like, hey, let's throw pistachio nuts in there.
Right. Why not?
Why not?
It's like, yeah. Anyway, so yeah. So we're doing pants off, dance off. You got a game for us, right?
Yes, I do.
What's the game?
All right. So we're going to go back to where it all started.
Oh, the original game?
Yes.
The first game we did?
Not the onion.
Oh, I love onion, not the onion.
This is one of my favorite games to play. If you have listened to the first episode and then listened to our birthday episode, we did a throwback to Onion, Not the Onion. So this game started a while back. I can't say that I invented it, because I believe that somebody on Reddit probably did, because there is subreddits called Onion, and then there's subreddits called Not the Onion.
Yep.
And then offbeat news kind of fashion.
Picked it up from that, yeah. Oh.
So what I love doing is when people come over, sometimes it's a game that I play where I'll get on my phone, I go to Reddit, and then I just pull up a curated page that just has those 2 things on it, and I start reading headlines. And then I make you guess whether it's Onion, fake news, or not the Onion, real news. And this is my kind of news. So one of the reasons I love this is because this is the news that when I read, I get a kick out of. It's real life. It's humanity. It's laughing at your fellow humans for doing crazy, stupid stuff. And then, I know I do crazy, stupid stuff, but it's not too deep.
Right. It's like girl licks Blarney Stone, it's paralyzed for life. Real or not real. Right? Like that kind of weird stuff.
So I have a good selection of these, hopefully, and I have a little bit of background on anything that's a real story, because you might go, that can't be real, because that's the whole point, right?
Agree. And I am hit or miss on this game over the course of our history. So
right. So for the last and final time, this is Canned Conversation, Onion, Not the Onion.
Okay.
Are you ready? Number 1, a man knocked down a wall in his basement and found an abandoned underground city that was once home to 20,000 people. Onion or not the onion? And while Stephen thinks of that, it's 1 point for everyone that you get correct. And
it's
0 points.
Negative 5 points for everyone you get wrong. It is.
Take a drink if you don't get it right.
It is the onion.
It is not the onion.
That's a real story.
That is, it seems completely unbelievable, but so this man in Turkey.
Oh, shocking. It's freaking where the birthplace of humanity was. Damn.
So
that's what I was toying with, is there could be that thing.
His pets were playing around in an area where he noticed that there was some whenever like liquid or something would go into the cracks. I feel like this is in a movie, that if I hadn't had buzz balls, I probably could remember. But he saw that, opens it up, and it's the passageway. It stretches 280 feet below the Earth's surface. It's a region in Turkey known as Cappadocia. And it's tunnels. They're cave-like tunnels that held they approximate 20,000 people that all lived in these tunnels underground before people had above ground houses.
I should have known that. That's stupid.
Isn't that crazy? Could you imagine if you unearthed that in your house?
And you're like, hey, my basement holds 20,000 now.
Right. And you have to call somebody, right? Like, what do I do with this? Am I now a museum? Do I have to let people in here to see
Yeah, because now your tax statement has accommodations for 20,000.
Right. You got to list that on the Zillow.
I mean, like, how many extra square feet does that add to your house?
Yeah. And you're going to get property taxed out the wazoo
That's
for
what I'm
that.
saying. Your property taxes can go up like 400 times.
Your school is going to love you.
You're going to have to get it rezoned.
Exactly. You're like a hotel now.
Yeah. You're like an island.
Number 2.
Anyway, all right,
investigation ends after body found near Houston turns out to be a sex doll.
Mm-hmm. Not the onion.
Onion or not the onion?
Not the onion.
Not the onion is correct. Give yourself a point.
Yay.
The Harris County Sheriff's Office received a call on Wednesday afternoon reporting the body of a dead woman found inside a partially open bag in the woods near East Adeline. Once detectives arrived on the scene and opened the bag, they discovered a full-sized, anatomically correct sex doll with pliable skin.
Yeah.
It looked very realistic.
And she was shocked. She had her mouth open, like her eyes in her mouth. Yeah.
What just happened? One of the things I found most humorous about this story was that they were taking a very regimented approach to making sure that they didn't incriminate or the crime scene or mess it up.
Yeah.
So they were being very cautious as they were approaching the bag.
Yeah.
But they said they smelled no decomposition, which was the weirdest thing.
Smelled like new car smell or new plastic.
Some weird rubber smell.
Yeah, that's off.
But somebody lost their sex doll, and sorry about you.
Yep. Those things aren't cheap.
I wouldn't know firsthand, but
I wouldn't either.
We'll sync up later and you can tell me all about it.
That's all right. Cool.
Number 3.
Next.
Leaders in crypto say they need an additional 20 million thrill seekers to buy in order to stabilize the market.
Not the onion.
Wrong.
Dang it.
That is the onion. Basically, thrill seekers, gambleholics.
I want that to be not the onion.
People that have no risk aversion in where they put their money. I'm not judging you if you're a crypto person. Please continue to be a crypto person and laugh at me all the way to the bank. I'm just not. For me, it's
not the volatile market you're looking for.
It feels a lot like gambling, and I've told this to a lot of people when it comes up in conversation. They talk about investing in crypto.
It's not an investment. Yeah, it's a gambling.
I'm like, crypto is a currency. It's like saying I'm going to invest in pesos, which you can play the market on currencies for exchanges, but it's not really investing. To me, it's gambling.
Depends on where you are in your life. Right?
True.
I'm not in a place in my life that I'm willing to risk almost anything in crypto. Like my margin for what I would go, I'm willing to piss this away if it all goes away tomorrow.
Your
I
risk
won't
aversion's
care.
high.
Yeah, but like I will, and it probably shouldn't be, but it's I've got more faith in stocks and bonds and indexes and that kind of stuff. Where I'm like, I'll go throw my money at that.
It's a wild market. It's a wild thing.
So,
and again, it's like
I get people who do
to
it.
each his own, right?
Go find your money. I mean, it's not my money. You do whatever you want with it. But
and I'm talking from a perspective of I'm sitting here drinking a can of Pants Off Dance Off. It's great.
This is going to be an off the rails episode.
A sleeping man dreamed someone broke into his home. He fired at that intruder and ended up shooting himself, authorities say.
Not the onion.
That is not the onion.
That's 100% true.
Did you hear that story?
No, but that's dumb.
A 62-year-old man is facing...
Shot himself?
Shot himself. A 62-year-old man is facing firearms charges in Illinois. Keep that in your mind, Illinois, after authorities say he accidentally shot himself in the leg in his sleep while dreaming that he was defending himself against an intruder in his home.
That means he was sleeping with a gun in his bed.
Mm-hmm. The man, identified as Mark DeCara of Lake Barrington, used a .357 Magnum revolver.
Oh my God, he really put a hole in himself.
He was in the middle of a dream, shot himself in the leg, and called the authorities once he figured out that
realized
things had
that
gone
he'd shot himself
amiss. Now, I mentioned that he has firearms charges against him. Why do you think he's getting charged with a crime?
Because he doesn't have a FOID card.
Bang! Give yourself a bonus point
It's
for
in
that.
Illinois, man. You got to have a FOID card before you can even like look at a gun.
During the investigation that followed, authorities realized he used a revolver despite not having a firearms owner's identification card, also known as FOID, which is mandatory in the state of Illinois.
Absolutely.
In order to legally possess a gun, authorities said Dakara's identification card had previously been revoked, although they did not share reasons why.
So what you're telling me is the government had put forth a law that you
See,
have to
what
have
happened was...
What happened was you have to have a law so that people follow it.
Right.
And then that guy didn't follow it. And then he shot himself in his sleep because he's a moron.
Right. And then
Got it.
needed help from our
from the taxpayers to get him to get a hole patched from the 357 hole that he put in himself, even though he's not legally allowed to carry a gun in Illinois.
They actually had to put a tourniquet on him at the scene.
They should have put it on his neck. Like, Jesus. All right.
Do not sleep with a gun in your hand.
No.
People, please.
Pants off, dance off.
Come on. Number 5, town council candidate keeps standing naked in front of his doorway.
That's 100% true. That's not the Onion.
That is true. A man running for town council on Long Island, New York is losing his support after photos show him standing naked in front of his door at his home. Witnesses say Sabella has been standing nude behind the screen of his front door for the past 2 months. And you can see, there was a picture associated with this news.
So you can see the stuff.
You can see his political sign in his yard next to you could see him standing
naked
in
behind
his screen
his
door.
front door with a
Right.
political sign that says
Of himself.
elect
me.
The clothed version of me.
Yes. Townspeople are calling the action disturbing, and one says it's a control move. It's a power move.
Oh yeah, he is definitely pissing on people's trees, right? Like that's not a power move. That's weird. You got a weird fetish.
Well, it's a bit of a power move when you stand there just like, I'm naked. Do something about it. And elect me on come election day. By the way, Babylon's Republican committee told ABC7 yesterday they're not going to support Kevin Sabella Sr.
Wait, he's a Republican?
He is a Republican.
So he's trying to get evangelical Christians in New York to vote for him.
I don't know that I would pigeonhole Republicans to say they're all trying to get evangelical Christians, although I will.
I'm just saying, if you're a Republican in New York, your Venn diagram's super small for who you're going after
Right.
anyway, because New York's a pretty democratic.
Nudists.
Yeah. But like the evangelical nudist colony is a real small demographic to go
Right.
after.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
he was trying to get him.
All right, cool.
Republican committee, though,
Whatever you
says,
think you need to do.
no go.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, close your door, sir.
Yeah. Pull
All
your
right.
blinds, man.
Number 6, wrongly convicted death row inmate exonerated mere hours after execution.
Oh, no. Not the Onion. That sounds like something stupid we
No,
do.
whoop.
Oh, no, it's the Onion?
That's the Onion.
Dang it. All right.
I thought it was funny, though, that the Onion did give a statement to say, thanks to the valiant efforts of Mr. Claremont's legal team, we determined he had been charged with a faulty evidence, and thus we were able to release him just a few hours after he received
died.
a fatal injection of potassium chloride. They overturned the criminal conviction, and they felt great satisfaction after seeing his frozen expression on death row inmate's face as his corpse was freed outside the prison. Made me laugh.
Oh, that's brutal.
I don't normally add the
commentary on the Onions, but that was a
one
good
got
one.
me.
Yeah,
I was like, that's hilarious.
I can buy it. That's a good one.
All right.
All right.
Number 7. How are you doing so far out of 6?
Not great. 50% right now.
You're batting 500.
Yeah, it's not great.
All right. Number 7. Tyson promises meatpackers who die from coronavirus will not go to waste. Onion or not the that is the
Sorry.
Onion.
The confusion on my face was going, which one is it? From a, like, it's fiction or nonfiction. Nonfiction being fact. Not the Onion.
Thanks
being
for
fact.
clarifying what
I'm just
nonfiction
saying,
is.
What I'm saying is, like, not the Onion's fact. I have to piece it together in my head.
Right.
Damn it! You just mentioned me hitting this mic.
Hit the
I did
mic.
it. Yep.
Yeah, I know, everybody heard that one.
Yeah,
I
they
heard
did,
it
and it's
in my cans.
because of this stupid ass buzz ball that you gave us.
Oh, by the way, cans means headphones in the biz. So that's
okay.
another little
All right,
behind the
this
scenes.
thing's going south quick. All right.
I heard it in my cans. All right, number 8. Man gets sued after leaving his blind date and her 23 relatives at restaurant.
Man gets sued after leaving his blind date and
23 relatives at the restaurant.
Not the Onion.
Not the Onion is correct. A man in China ended up in a legal battle after walking out on a blind date who expected him to pay for her and all 23
relatives
of her relatives. The man identified in local reports as Mr. Liu found his prospective partner, Mrs. Zhang, through a matchmaker and arranged to meet her at a popular restaurant.
I'm 100% behind Mr. Liu.
Exactly.
You walk out and you don't look back.
To Mr. Liu's surprise, Zhang arrived at the restaurant accompanied by 23 of her relatives who joined them on their date.
No.
When Mr. Liu was handed the bill amounting to, and I'll do the conversion for you, approximately $2,812 US American dollars.
You can suck it. We are not doing that.
He decided to promptly leave the restaurant without saying a word and have the Zhang family and their relatives settle the cost. She did take this to court. She thought that was rather rude. And the court, however, ruled in Liu's favor, stating that he should only cover the cost of his own meal and the dates. Which was
you were responsible for two people.
Yes. It equated to approximately 197 US dollars. That made me laugh. So, So your feeling on if you were to go to a blind date?
Oh no! You don't bring a family member, and I'll be okay if you say I brought a friend to make sure you're okay. They're going to sit with us. I'll even pay for that friend, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
You bring a
For
safety,
security
a
reasons.
security person. You don't bring 20 some odd people from your family
for a free meal.
No.
And I tried to see if this was cultural. It's not.
I'm 100% out because that only tells you that this is going to be a problem for the rest of your natural born life.
Yeah, this blew up on Chinese social media apparently because they don't, use the same as ours because they hate us.
Well, no, because their government controls
controlled.
it.
That's what I meant. Like their government does not want to.
Yeah, their
have,
government hates us. Their people don't.
They don't want Western ideas infiltrating their social media, so they have their own.
Yep.
It blew up on their social media, and most people were appalled that she would try to bring her entire
23
family.
people. Come on.
I'm surprised that he actually had the meal.
Two max. Yeah. He had to be contemplating the entire meal. How do I get out of this?
Right.
Like,
Is there a window in the bathroom?
He was panicking. He was freaking out. 100%.
He's under the table texting. This isn't going to work out. I'm leaving. Number 9. Lawyers blame ChatGPT for tricking them into citing bogus case law. Onion or not the Onion?
Not the Onion.
Not the Onion is correct, unfortunately.
Oh, it's coming.
2 apologetic lawyers responding to an angry judge in Manhattan federal court. This is in federal court, people. Blamed ChatGPT Thursday for tricking them into including fictitious legal research in a court filing. Attorneys Schwartz and DeLuca are facing possible punishment over filing in a lawsuit on an airline that included references to past court cases that Schwartz thought were real, but were actually invented by the AI-powered chatbot.
It's going to happen. I mean, like that. This is not going to be. That's the.
What's happening now?
Yeah.
It's a matter of who gets caught. Doing it.
Agree.
So, quote, I did not comprehend that ChatGPT would fabricate cases, Schwartz said.
Jesus Christ.
He's putting his career and his law practice on the line for AI generated. Hell, I don't know how much that saves you in time. I'm not a lawyer. So I don't know how, does that garner you 2 hours, 10 hours of time? I don't know. And then he's billing for all that time.
Oh, that's what I would love to know is how much time he billed for versus how much time he used. Like I used ChatGPT.
15 minutes.
It took me 20 minutes to come up with all of this case crap.
Right.
And I billed for 400 hours of research or 100 hours. Whatever it is. Like,
right. He probably billed for something.
You tried to find a loophole and then you got caught.
Yeah, it says the case demonstrated how the lawyers might not have understood how ChatGPT works because it tends to hallucinate, thinking that fictional things in a manner that sounds realistic.
Hallucinate like it's on drugs.
It takes all of the things that it knows and it spits it out as if it's real, but
it makes up a story, right?
It might be ingesting things that aren't real.
Right, yeah. You're right. That's an old man thinking he's come up with a way to create 15 minutes of work to bill for 30 hours.
I like how you think he's old because old people aren't using ChatGPT. I think this is a younger person thinking how he's going to work 30 minutes on a Friday and have the
I
rest
could buy
of the
that.
day off.
I could buy that too. All right, that's fair.
As a
It could
young
be-
lawyer.
Yep, it could be a young lawyer.
It didn't state their ages in the news
It
story.
should. All right, what do we got?
Number
We got
10,
more?
Cooper's. Yeah, we got 2 more.
Okay.
Cooperstown, New York. New baseball Hall of Fame exhibit. Lets fans compare cup sizes against all-time greats. Onion.
Not the Onion. Damn it!
You would love to go to Cooperstown and go,
yeah.
all right, let's see what.
I got a small, junior size small. Who's like me?
which
No.
Hall of Famer here wears the same cup size
Yep.
as I do? No, unfortunately, that is not correct. Although maybe after reading that story, they might think about
They're good.
doing it.
It's an interactive display.
It is.
That people want immersive experiences.
I picture, like when you go to a museum and there's sort of an interactive area, but you can't just put them out for people to touch. So you have to put it on something. So there's like a plexiglass, and then the middle at about waist height is it sort of built in.
Yeah.
So you have to walk up to it and
it-
push yourself forward.
And it like lasers your groin and goes,
Whoa,
yep,
that's-
you're Babe Ruth.
Right. You wear the same cup size as Joe DiMaggio.
You're like, holy crap, you're Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
Right, or whatever that is. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fun.
Last.
All right.
Certainly not least. Number 11. How you doing so far? Still 50% or better? You're
No,
a
I'm
little
better.
better.
I'm 6 out of
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
All right. So you're batting a little better than 100, 500.
1,000.
Buzzballs is doing its work.
Yeah.
Number 11. In this youth baseball league, fans who mistreat umpires are sentenced to do the job themselves.
That's if it's not the Onion. If it is the Onion, it shouldn't be the Onion. That should be a true story. I'm glad it is.
I actually saw this story and pulled
Love
this out
that.
myself. So a little league president in New Jersey named Don Bozafy.
Yeah, Bozify.
Bazafi, maybe, said he'd lost his patience when 2 umpires resigned after persistent spectator abuse. So he updated and wrote a new code of conduct that he posted. And I actually did take this picture off so I could show you if you want. This is he actually posted this up on the
That's
field.
awesome.
And
I love it.
I am putting this in.
Parents are crazy.
Uh-oh. I'm frozen. Hope that didn't take a long time. All right.
Is what it is.
Yes. So it is a code of conduct issue. So let me get into the little. It's specified any spectator deemed in violation would be banned from the complex until 3 umpiring assignments were completed. If not, the person would be barred from any Deptford youth sports facilities for a year. So if your dad's out there making a fool of himself and going crazy,
You do it.
you have to do 3 umpiring assignments or you're banned for a year.
I love it. As it should
yeah.
be. You're yelling at kids for no good reason.
And this is what they have to go through in order to get unbanned to do their 3. The town's mayor and Bazafi said they teach a 3-hour safety certification class. Each offender must complete before receiving an assignment.
Perfect.
Rookie umps must pass a background check and complete an online concussion course. After that, a qualified umpire will stand off to the side, be stationed next to them in order to ensure accuracy and fairness.
They made it a deal.
Yeah. And he said, and so far it's worked, but he wanted to emphasize this by saying, we'll see how their sphincters feels when they have to make a tight call and the parents are all screaming and hollering at them.
Yeah, 100% agree. We're not talking about we're not talking about Super Bowls. We're not talking about World Series. We're not talking about Stanley Cups. We're talking about 7-year-olds playing a sport. Calm down.
I agree.
And I applaud him for going, not only am I going to say calm down, I'm going to say you're not even welcome here if you can't calm yourself. If you can't control your emotion, get out. You're a harmful person in your kid's life.
Yep.
Sports fun.
And they are.
Let sports
for
be
a year,
fun.
they do have to go away unless they're willing to put their own.
Right. Put your
self-
money where your mouth is.
Put it in,
Shut up and be a better ump.
Yep.
If you can't, go away.
Yep.
I love
Here,
it.
here.
Love it. Love that guy. Kudos to you.
All right.
Pants off, dance off to
Pants
that, man.
off, dance off. I'm gonna take 1 second.
Okay.
And things are gonna in magical land because my video has frozen.
Yeah, let's fix that. Let's pause for a minute. We'll just stop.
And we'll be right back in half a second.
Cool.
All right. So this is gonna be hilarious to piece together tomorrow. I was just telling my good friend offline, we have not had to do this. And so this may be a sign from the greater power
that this is a good final
this
episode.
is a good final episode that
We're throwing everything we got at this
all
one.
of our technologies is, or at least one technology is breaking down. So if you're watching the video, I don't know at what point my face just froze into a horrible smear of me. So we're gonna keep an eye on it and then piece it together however we do. So we've been drinking Pants Off, Dance Off, and having just a fabulous time doing it.
Yeah, we are what, four cans into this.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. This is our third can and one small can.
Yeah, 3 bigs, 1 small.
So let's talk about Pants Off, Dance Off because I'm damn near done with it.
Oh my God,
my pants are darn near off.
Yeah, you've been naked for an hour. So this is mine. I brought it. It is a weird. So I'm torn on this one because it is a weird flavor of both good and weird. So I know we're going through these things fast, so I'm going to just tell you what my score is first, but it's a 3. There's a weird, that pistachio hits at the end, weirdly different for me. So like it's a beer and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's like a cream soda and then a beer and then a pistachio at the end. But it's good. It's just different. It like hits different than normal beers do. So I applaud them for doing this because it's a different flavor. It's cool. So if you see Pants Off, Dance Off, I'm going to go with, you should go buy it. I'm not pushing this on you, but it's a 3 for me.
Solid 3. Okay, for you. Man, I'm going to give it a 4 because I have to give some love to this marketing and this can.
The can is awesome though, right? I could not buy it.
And it's so terrible because a beer should not be sold, but it did off its can because you have no idea what's in here. And, beers in this kind of market, right, where all these microbrews, so many companies vying for your attention. And what is going to get my attention? Well, sure as hell, Pants Off, Dance Off would have gotten my attention. And we didn't even really mention it's got the shocker hand going on it for almost not. Oh no!
Hold on,
not 2 and 1.
No.
It's close.
No,
what is that? What is that? That's the rock.
This is a family show. That is not a shocker.
Well, I meant the Kansas. No, the Wichita. The Wichita Shockers.
Yeah,
they're college.
They still use the other shocker. No,
it's the top
this
of a
is
corn.
Just a
corn
I want
husk.
a rock. It's the
shock top.
The pinky and the pointer finger are up. Rock. Everything else is
double horns.
Yep, double horns. Yep.
All right. So,
ooh, man, you really went off the deep.
The artwork is great. Well, for a minute I thought it was, and I'm like, man, they have really.
Right, they really did it.
They have really jumped full force into the deep end of this is a party in a can. The taste is okay. Like it's pretty good. Cream, I don't necessarily taste it. It tastes a lot like Thursday Night Incident, but without a bit of that hoppiness.
Yep. Instead
of finishing with hoppiness, it finishes with a pistachio.
It does. It really finishes with a pistachio,
which is
it's weird,
not bad
and crazy. Yeah.
Because I don't really eat pistachios.
I don't either.
Ever.
I don't. Yeah, it's not my thing.
But I've whenever I've had them, like I go okay. But I do like pistachio ice cream to an extent. Like
sure.
When I've had
I do too.
Or that what's the Italian version of ice cream?
That's it. Spumoni.
Gelato.
Spumoni.
Spumoni? Oh. What's gelato?
I don't know.
That sounds very Italian.
Spumoni sounds Italian.
That's true. Either pistachio, spumoni, or pistachio, whatever I just said.
Gelato. Oh, crap.
Cream ale with
pistachio. We got a lot to cover still. We are not done with this episode.
No, we are not.
We need to... Oh, my God. We need to simmer down.
We're doing great.
We are doing perfect. All right.
So we're not frozen.
No, we're not frozen. You're at a 4.
I'm going to give it a
3.
4.
Cool.
Solid 4.
Awesome. My God, this episode's crazy.
You have one more full can? One big can?
No,
just one little one.
You've used all of my cans,
and I have one little can as well, which will end on the smallest of possible cans because it's probably the most potent, and we want to make it through the episode.
Okay. Do you need me to pull a small can?
We're going to do that for the next topic, yes, which is your hypotheticals and survey questions.
So I need to do that?
So let's do some walk up, and we are here.
What in the hell's diversity?
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Ron, I would be surprised if the affiliates were concerned about the lack of an old wooden ship, but nice try.
Nice try.
Nice try.
Your favorite, one of your favorite movies?
It is. It's Anchorman.
And then I put country on here for you.
Yeah, why? I mean, you're really catering to my needs tonight.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm here for. What does a good host do?
Cater.
Caters
They cater
to their
the
talent.
needs.
You are the talent, my friend.
That's. Oh, we're in trouble, man. We are in trouble.
I hope these hypotheticals are
I don't have
as fun and sassy as the last set of hypotheticals.
Oh my God. Okay.
So one of our favorite things that we just did recently was some of the hypothetical questions. I'm not going to steal your thunder because we are going to go into the can.
Yeah, we got to
But
talk about
that
the
is
can.
what I am looking forward to here in a minute after we.
Yeah, so let's talk about Tia Linda's margaritas.
Yeah.
So Tia Linda
Salud.
Margarita, they are Tia Linda's Island ice, whatever it is. I don't know. This whole thing is written in Hispanic, in Mexican, Spanish, whatever you call it. It says Shake Well. It is a tiny little can. I'll show it up for those on YouTube watching us. It's one of those 200 milliliter type cans. It's got salt in it.
This is 200 as well?
I think so.
This is way bigger than Buzz Balls. It feels like it's bigger than Buzz Balls, and Buzz Balls was 200 milliliter.
Hold on. Let's look.
It is 200. That's crazy.
It's the same as. So you took this as a shot,
I
just for
did.
the record. I told you those Buzz Balls were bigger than you thought they were. You're
They're
like,
just
this is a shot. You got fat balls. If they were long and slender, they would look like this thing. Anyway, so. Oh,
there's a lot going on this can. There's a lot of writing. Made with tequila, salt, Shake Well, real cane sugar, agave, triple sex, sweet and zesty.
It says pour over ice.
Meyer lemon and lime juice.
So
there's delicioso. I love that they put on the Spanish version.
Yeah.
Pour over ISO.
ISO.
How to servo.
It does not say ISO.
Call your people and tell them to drink this on the telephone.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Negative ghost.
So this is a smaller can.
This is a tiny can. Again, I said it was one of my highlights is that we did tiny cans all the time, and those tiny cans talked about funny stories, and we did funny, silly stuff. One of the most recent things we did was hypothetical situations, and you're like, hey, those I don't know.
You're talking a little bit fast.
I'm sorry. I don't know. That,
okay. We've had a little bit to drink now.
We have. I don't know that people realize, like some of the topics we bring to the podcast. Like our families talk about, and then I like for me, I will test out at work, and so I've the hypothetical situation episode. I did that exact episode, those set of questions. I did them on the podcast. I did them at work. I did them at home twice with two different sets of people because people were like, "Let's do these." I heard the podcast, or I heard you did this on the podcast. Tell me what the questions are. I did the full set that we did on the podcast 4 times.
Wow.
Like nothing has like I got so much use out of that one pager that I had printed out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And so we got I felt like it had legs.
I think I love those questions because I think it gives you a deeper insight into a person's soul.
Yeah.
Than normally when you have generic type questions or even the would you rathers, because those sometimes are a little far off base. It's like, would you rather be blind in one eye or have one arm cut off? It's hard to really gauge a person by their answer to that. Yep. Where I think these hypothetical questions give you a little bit more insight, which I love. It's like I can tell a little about you by telling how you would dispose of a dead body, or what you would do with, like if you found $1 million with a note that said "toned."
Right. It's almost less about the answer and more about the way that your mind works.
Yeah, I love it.
To process it. I love that stuff. So anyway, I've gotten so much. So we're doing hypothetical situations because it was one of my favorite things that we just recently did, and we're gonna do it. I only have 4. Okay, so it's short episode.
You did better than I did. I brought 11.
I know you were
10
brilliant. So these will take a little bit. So all right. So every day, 12 things arrive at your house, all of which begin with the same letter. You get to choose the letter. What letter do you pick? Every day, the rest of your life, stuff shows up. 12 things show up at your house. They all have they start with the same letter. What letter do you pick?
Which is funny because I'm done. It was so good. 200 milliliters goes down quick.
My God. All right.
So this is such a weird question for me because I would not like getting 12 things a day.
I know you're a clutter person, which is why I picked this question.
Right. I purposefully sometimes space out some Amazon stuff because I don't want to open 4 packages. Like I like to methodically open a package, open a box, take the box, break it down, put it in recycle, take whatever it is, open it up, understand, whatever I got it for, put it in its either place if I'm not using it right then or when I think I
love
will
that you
use
think it already has a place.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I only buy things I buy things purposefully for the most part.
All I need to know
is right?
The letter.
I know.
The letter that the things start with.
It could be, I'm trying to think. So if it's a letter, then do I get to choose all the things that start with that letter?
No.
Or do I just get a random 12
It's 12
things?
random things starting with that letter.
Oh, then it really doesn't matter.
Because all of them are going in the trash?
No, well, not to trash necessarily. Because I don't
Recycle.
want to. Well, I might try to sell them on eBay if I don't need them.
So what letter? Think about it.
I'm going to go.
There's a right answer.
There is?
Yeah.
That is hilarious because, I mean, you're getting 12 things a day and they're all mixed up, right? It's not the same thing.
Yeah, no, it's 12 different things every day.
Well, I'm going to go with T.
T. Why?
Not Y.
No, T.
Yes, T.
Yes, T.
Not Y. It's just the most prolific letter, I feel. Like it's used in it's a very common starting letter. I think M, T, S are probably some of the most popular.
Okay.
So if I'm going to get 12 things a day, I want them to be a variety of things so that, that span a little bit so I can check and go, hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I just got a Tesla, that starts with T.
And you also got a top.
Right.
That spins on the ground.
Right.
Same day.
Right.
Gotcha.
Or tea, like I got a box of tea, English tea or something.
Oh, well, then it's usable.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm just thinking
T.
of a prolific letter. I'm curious to hear what the right answer is.
The right answer
That's
is
amazing.
G.
Wow.
Because a lot of things start with gold. And anything gold is valuable. The right answer being what I thought of was M for money or G for gold.
Or D
for dollars.
Diamond.
Diamonds. Yes, that's what I meant.
Diamond encrusted this. Diamond sapphire this.
Yes. Well, that's DS. But yeah, okay. All right. So you're a T, I'm a D. I'm a G.
Sometimes you're a D.
I'm a D
Not
all the
most
time.
days,
But
though.
I'm just trying to. I will be a G if you ask me
Right,
how many.
you're a G. You're a G.
12 items. Got it. All right. So if you could learn any skill in the world without trying, what would you learn? I mean, what would you just inherit, basically? You just have a skill.
Man, that's so awesome. Like, I would be so pumped to have that as an option.
Right.
Like,
Just pick one thing, you could just have it.
yes. And I feel like I would drive whoever that entity was that gave me that wish crazy because I would just noodle on it for a while. And I should have a prepared answer.
That's okay. I have one because I've thought about it. You have to think about it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a
Because you
thinker.
don't want to just throw it away.
No, yeah, it's a what could it be?
I mean, we've talked a
you want
little.
to go first, and you can think about it for a second.
Sure.
I'm gonna go first.
Yeah.
Because this is when
You don't even need a reason.
I think I needed to noodle on this one for a second.
And you did.
And so I noodled on it and I thought mine would be optimizing investing. So of all the skills, and my initial thought was I'd love to be able to be just a inherent musician who knows everything about that would be great. I can learn some of that from YouTube, and I don't really care. I just want to be good enough at a lot of things in life. But being optimizing investments that I could teach people to do, specifically my family and friends, and my kids, and like getting really good at that would be really beneficial in my opinion. So that's kind of where I landed. But it took me probably, I don't know, 3 minutes of thinking of like going, oh,
it's so much deep thought into it.
I'm a deep thinker. I'm not going to lie to you.
3 entire minutes.
3 full minutes.
I know what else you do for 2 minutes. So
yeah. So this is way more than that.
So
how do you know that? That's weird. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. The first thing that popped into my head was knowing how to play drums prolifically. Is that's the word? Is that correct?
Sure.
Prolifically. I think it would just be so much fun, and it's been just something that I think I've wanted to be able to do, but I know that it would take a lot to do, so I've never just jumped in full force. I did take some lessons earlier in my youth before I had kids with a friend of mine that plays drums.
Odd, because you jumped full force into podcast.
I did.
It's the same effort. It's give it 2 years, jump full force into it, and
yes.
Okay, all right, keep going.
But I
so
feel
drums
like
is where you started.
I feel like the benefits of the podcasting were realized. You had some early benefits early on that you could compound on.
Okay,
that weren't bad. Where I feel like it would take a while for me to get good enough on drums to not be bad.
Well, and drums are tough, right? Because you're like, I need to find somebody to play with to make like nobody's gonna sit around and just listen to drums.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind just even doing it for myself.
Yeah,
it's almost, I could see it as a stress reliever, and or as a hey, I want to get away from my work for a second.
Everybody wants to beat on something.
Yeah.
All right.
But then part of me is like, yours is good because it has a financial component where you could make money off of it. But if I could know how to play golf, suddenly at a level that is, say, PGA level or live or they're now together, weirdly enough,
dumb. Anyway,
then I could use that financially. Like I could say, oh, I'm gonna switch my career now to to just go, hey, because I think here's the broad stroke of what I'm trying to think of is I'm older in my life, right? So I want something that's probably going to take a lot of time to be condensed down into nothing.
Yeah.
But will provide me the greatest amount of benefit.
Yeah.
And I like yours because it has a very financial component, but I also I guess I would go with being able to play golf at a level that I could do it for a living and not have to worry about. So then I could use that to to just retire,
do all kinds of other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like that could lead to other stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I can buy that.
Yeah.
All right. For sense of time, we're gonna condense 4 into 3.
I don't care about time.
All right, good. Then all right.
Our listeners can pause and
they can
just restart whenever they want. This is our last and final episode.
We can do whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want. We're partying we're partying with our pants off.
That is,
and it's a dance off.
We're past that one though. We're now margaritaing, and you're already
I'm done. I'm going back to pants off.
Oh my god, this is off the rails. Okay, so if you could erase one thing from the world, along with the memory of that thing, what would you erase? So you can erase one thing, and everybody's memory of it. So it didn't exist.
Man, this is really difficult.
Is it?
Yeah. Because
I was going to go with dinosaurs. Sorry. I'm kidding. I wasn't going with dinosaurs.
No, I mean, that's a good answer because I was going to go with Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, agree.
Because, man, that stuff just smells weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's not real pasta.
It's weird.
But I feel like that's not the moral answer.
What's the moral answer for you?
Like cancer. Or something.
So I went with
you could better people's lives.
I went with slavery. if we could forget
For sure.
if we could forget that owning people was ever a thing, could we start fresh and go, owning people's not a thing? That's a dumbass concept we should not have.
Yeah.
Like in our memories, like that's what propagates it anyway. Like let's just stop.
sure.
That was mine.
Yeah,
Is
no,
I'm
that's really good.
Racism is like slavery is a thing. Like if you could just get rid of it, would we have racism? I don't know. Maybe. I would love to get rid of it and see.
True. That would be a great
It's like a social
experiment to see. That's a really good one. I was trying to think of like the first things that kind of came to mind, and I don't know if that qualifies as like, cancer, because cancer is so across the board. It hurts so many people and so many families. But if it wasn't cancer, I feel like it would be something else. I can't think of any one world event because I don't feel like it would be prolific enough, right? Like if I said 9/11 never existed, there would be change.
The Holocaust.
Or the Holocaust never existed. There would be unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there wouldn't have been that then to fall back on to go, let's never have that
to point
happen
at that and go,
again.
that was really bad.
Right.
We need to do something not like that.
Right. Like I feel like after that there could have been another
good point.
If I have eliminated that, then 10 years from
something else.
You're right. Would have been as horrific.
Or minorly smaller than that. And you've been like, well, that kind of that kept us from getting incrementally worse over the course of 10 years.
Yes.
You had a boiling point. That was it.
Right. Things taught us.
Okay.
There were teachers, right? History has taught us.
So what's your answer?
So, I mean, Chef Boyardee, I guess.
It's Chef Boyardee. Like, mine's slavery.
I'm
yours is
eliminating it.
Yours is Chef Boyardee. I like it. Okay, so.
But actually, I mean, really, it would be tough. I would have to noodle on this for a while, but
I know that's the beauty of this thing, right?
I'm like, while I'm playing drums or playing golf prolifically now, because I have that.
Yeah, because you have the other two in your
Right.
pocket. So
then I would just be out there wondering what could I eliminate that would help the most people. I do want to help. I think at the end of the day, that would be my goal.
But it's also not to like Back to the Future this thing, but like you mess with something,
True,
it has unintended consequences for something else.
Yes.
Like, and you're like
slurring a little.
Sorry.
That's okay. I've just noticed because I'm wondering if I'm doing it the same.
I've had 19 beers on this.
We've had a lot of cans.
episode. This is like episode 1.
We have a lot of cans on the table.
We
here.
have a it's like a bachelor party here on the table. Anyway,
right.
so okay. So all I was saying was
pants off, dance off.
Yeah. Well, I'm on to margarita. I had to put pants off, dance off aside. All right, you ready to move on? Whew. Jiminy Christmas.
I mean, that's a really great question. Can I ask a question of you?
No.
That's a hypothetical.
Okay.
And I don't know that I've asked it on this podcast, but it's one that I love asking people to really get a good gauge of where their thought process is.
Okay.
Say something came down that was not of human nature.
So aliens.
Aliens, God.
We'll call it aliens.
Something that you know when you see it has more knowledge than you.
Got it.
If you could ask God, aliens, something that has way more knowledge of you, if you could ask them one question, what would that be?
So I see this question all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, in hypotheticals.
Okay.
Like if you could talk to God, what would it be? What would you ask?
And I think it's a great question.
It's hard because
it is. It's very hard because you only get one.
So my question is, how does it end? Tell me the end, because I can plan
the end of the world,
right?
As we know it.
Literally, if you can tell me the end, I can plan around it. If you go, Donald Trump creates a nuclear war, just hypothetical, or Soviet Union decides to bomb everybody in 5 years. I can plan. I don't. I mean, that it is what it is. At that point, I can plan around it. I can go. It's time to go to Cancun. It's time to go to the Maldives. Technically, I'm going to spend some money, right? So tell me the end. Just how does it all end? If I think it's within the next.
That's funny because you jump all the way to the very end.
It's ending.
Right. How does this all come to a conclusion?
And if they go, in 200 million years, when the sun burns out, humans cease to exist, I go, we're good. Like, I'm okay for a long period of time. If 200 million years.
Yeah.
The sun's got some lifespan.
Sure.
So that would be my answers. Tell me how it ends.
Okay. Interesting. So mine would be a little bit more specific of saying, have I reached my full potential?
Really? We had a whole potential or not?
I know, but I don't know what my full necessarily potential is. Because I feel like on an earthly level, yes, you might want to know how it ends. Although there's a lot going on there.
So you don't even need God or aliens to come. I can answer that for you. Your brain keeps you from doing most of the things your body is able to do. So when you think to yourself, have I reached my full potential? I haven't.
I never have. Right. I agree.
You have not. So I think you wasted your question on the aliens.
Well, it's
Ask
more
them
of
how it ends. That's important.
It is.
I'm just kidding.
It's more of what else can I do that I haven't necessarily
You're like,
done.
how do I unlock something that I don't know how to unlock?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got one more. Can we do one more? Is that all right?
I'm sorry, like to those who are listening.
Yeah,
like, I hope you're playing along at home fairly well.
Please drink along at home hard. Like hard.
We're a little
drinking.
buzzed. I'm not gonna lie.
So this last one I love because it's an homage to some other stuff that's caused us conversations in the past.
Yes.
If you could create a third party to our political system, what would you call it and what would be your slogan?
This is a great question. Oh man, whatever you call it, a bunch of people are going to hate it. But I think on the nose, what I would try to instill into a party, if I could create one, is just balance. I would call it like on balance.
So a party called On Balance. So you have Republicans, Democrats, and On Balance.
Right. Because
and then your motto would be?
My motto would be it's not just about our team winning. It's about doing what's right and learning like just constantly evolving what we believe.
I'm 100%. So I'm going to negate my answer and go.
You're going to join my party?
I am joining that party.
Excellent.
That is the party I want to be. I have been a Republican in my world for a long time. And then I was recently, in the last 8 years gone, I'm not a Republican. I'm a conservative. I have conservative values.
Right.
And now I'm like, I am whatever Andrew says that party is. Whatever you call that, I'm in. That is the party I want to support.
And I
want to be logical people who go,
yes.
I can understand where we are, how we're evolving, and I can logically change the way we do policies based on how human existence is evolving, technology-wise, as a species, as a global market, all that thing. Let's use logic and honesty as a transparent party that navigates through very tough times technology-wise and moral-wise, because that's just where we are.
Yeah.
We're in very weird, like our forefathers could not fathom the weird crap that's going on in our world right now.
Right.
I'm in your party.
Yeah.
My answer, stupid. Not doing it. I'm doing doing whatever you had.
Yeah, it's just, and what's amazing is that you asked that question because it's we had the political hot takes episode, and we've had quite a lot of feedback from people close to us, and it really has sort of made me think. I don't know about you. It's made me kind of sort of double down to go, am I coming from a place of learning and of understanding history? And now I'm frozen. Frozen on the screen.
It's all right. It's
Thanks,
okay.
for the people that are watching live. We will
hang with us.
Hang with us. We'll reset in a minute. So all I'll say is that I really do believe that if we can get away from it's you versus me, and that would make us so much better.
Agree.
Just that one little thing.
The amount of empathy we have right now is so low. If we could get to a place where we go, oh, maybe we're not against each other. Maybe we're kind of all on the same path. We're just at different places. It's okay. You can be at a different place. I can be older than you. You can be a younger person who's going through a thing that I kind of went through similarly, but in your generational, and it's okay. I can accept that.
Right.
Like
And
you don't have to be where I'm at.
And just even to say, if there are 10 things on the table, we don't have to agree on 10.
No.
And I feel like that's what it is nowadays.
Let's go make progress on 3.
Right. Or 6.
Right.
Like
6 is good.
Let's go, like, we believe in the same basic 6. These 4, we might not be eye to eye on, but that's okay. But
let's go make progress on those.
Agreed.
And we'll come back to the other 4 that we don't agree on and go, is there middle ground anywhere?
Yes.
Like I can start making progress somewhere.
Agreed.
We just, all right, cool. Gee, Merry Christmas.
All right.
We should
do
start
me a favor.
political party. Yeah.
We're going to hit the pause button to unfreeze my face because this stupid technology is being not friendly.
No, not on 100. 100 is going to be a challenge
and
for
in
us.
1/2 second, we will be back. All right. So we've reset again. Apologies for the technical difficulties that we're having.
We're not having.
Where
We're
things are
good.
freezing. But if you're watching on the YouTube's video portion or on Spotify, we're back. And so, we have done the hypotheticals.
Yeah.
And we've solved the world's problems, kinda.
Well, yeah.
Because you know what I've learned from this exercise?
What?
I've learned that you probably shouldn't have like a genie give you these options when you've had 7 cans of liquor.
Agree.
You're going to make poor choices and say, I don't want SpaghettiOs to be a thing when you could maybe help the world in a different way.
SpaghettiOs was one of the most epic answers ever.
Well, all of Chef
Boyardee, really,
because it's all the same thing in a different can.
Right, it's just different presentation.
Yes, alphabets, O's.
That's what I tell my wife about Mexican restaurants. Is like they have a line of ingredients. It's how do you want it? Do you want it wrapped up? Do you want it flat? Do you want it deep fried? Like it's a tortilla with the same ingredients. Do you want steak, chicken, or pork? Like it's not rocket science.
Yes. Rice or beans.
Right. Do you like rice? Do you like beans?
Yeah.
Like the layout they have in the back is the same. Like they don't give a crap. You want shrimp? Like there's 4 meat, there's 4 protein choices, like whatever. All right, moving on. All right, so what do you think?
So you have a couple of survey questions, then we're going to rate some stuff, and then we'll go on to our last and final segment.
I thought since this is our final episode, we would do what I do on a daily basis. And I will tell you, it's also so I'll save it. I'm gonna say we have talked about surveys over and over again. You've made fun of me, so that's why,
in a loving way.
Absolutely, and I love that you've made fun of it. Because like my wife and I still do date nights and we still do surveys. And she's after our last episode 99, she's like, "Is surveys funny now?" And I go, "No," and she goes, "I'm like, is it funny to you?" And she's like, "No," and I'm like, "This is just what we do. Like it just is what it is."
Yeah.
So
and will be what will be.
It will be what it will be. So I thought I would do a survey with you. So how would you rate on a scale of 1 to 5? Think of it as our star rating for beers. Make it easy. How would you rate the overall experience of running a podcast?
So what's interesting about this is it does kind of bleed into our last segment, which is our sort of final overall thoughts about the podcast. So maybe hold on to that for just a second.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to answer that.
Okay.
But let's rate this beer.
You want to come back to surveys?
Because I kind of want to do this whole last segment is our last and final thoughts about the podcast, about why we're finishing.
We can do this at the end.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Because are they all sort of podcast related?
They are very podcast related.
Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to do for the last and final topic piece is just to do sort of a retrospective.
I love it. Good on you.
Right.
Nice work. Retrospective.
But I want to give sort of the audience the reason why we're stopping, and then kind of cover the basis of our last and final thoughts.
Cool.
On the episode. So let's do this margarita. in a small can that I finished way early.
You finished way too fast. I brought this and I have to start, which what that means is I have to start. But this one's a tough one for me because I love a good margarita. This thing is potent. You drank it so fast, I'm not even sure you tasted it, but its taste is crazy. I'm like, it's real bitter. So for me, I'm gonna finish it. It's super strong, and it's also small. So I'm gonna go with a 3.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I'm not certain. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 3.
Okay,
but it's tough to even get through a small can. So I'm gonna go with 3.
Okay. I enjoyed it for the margarita that it is, but I feel like it's not one of the better margaritas we've had. What's interesting about it is it's in a small can.
Yeah.
Why would you make a margarita?
Why do you do this?
So tiny?
Yeah. There's no explanation.
Right. You could have
there should
more.
be an explanation.
I feel the same margarita is also in one of those bottles that actually has a handle on it. So it's like a handle of pre-made margaritas. Right. It's very interesting. Like, I don't know who they're marketing this to, unless you're going to have like poolside, don't bring glass, don't bring a giant thing of margaritas. I could see that. But for me, this is not like a margarita that goes above and beyond. It's pretty average margarita, so I'll go 3 as well. I feel like if I had these on the ready, that I would drink 3 of them fairly quickly, like because I would be looking for a glass. Shots. Yeah. I mean, being it so small, this is for a niche reason, like poolside again or riverside, where you're like, I want to have a margarita but not have to worry about glass.
I want the taste, but I want to get it quick. If you want the taste and you want to get it prepackaged quickly,
sure.
And it's tiny, have at it. Go crazy.
Because I never think of margarita as a shot, but the Buzz Ball and the margarita is the same size.
It's changed your mind. The Buzz Ball changed everything for us.
It did. It really.
We're on episode 100, and if Buzz Ball would have been the first thing we did, would have changed the whole podcast.
Maybe.
All right.
All different.
All right.
So we're a solid set of 3s.
We're a solid set of 3s.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the last and final movie quote and walk-up music for a can.
We got another can.
We got one more can
Good God.
in the hopper. It's a very small, very, very small.
Let's
do this.
I love it.
One of our favorite things of all time and our favorite episodes. So please bear with us. Here we go.
I got your message. I haven't celebrated Festivus in years. What is your interest?
Well, just tell me everything, huh?
Many Christmases ago, I went to buy a doll for my son. I reached for the last one they had, but so did another man. As I rained blows upon him, I realized there had to be another way.
There is another way.
It was destroyed. But out of that, a new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us.
Well, that must have been some kind of doll.
She was. I hope you're drinking along with us because this has been one hell of an episode.
Yeah, please, God, say you've drank along with us.
This is an episode, a bonus, another bonus, and a triple bonus, just all sort of wrapped up in one. Because
this is, so far, literally, this is 3 episodes and 2 bonuses in one episode.
Yeah. You have gotten your money's worth on this one, which is absolutely free. No commercials here.
We're not sponsored by them, but we should be.
The last and final can, which, we tried to sort of plan this out a little bit, but this is a can. This is probably the smallest can we've ever had on this show.
What's the milliliters on this?
100. Thing? It is half the size of the Buzz Ball that we had and half the size of the margarita and a quarter of the size or less of the cans that we've had. And it's called Screwball. It is a peanut butter whiskey. My dear lovely wife got this for us. We saw this somewhere advertised.
It's the tiniest little can with a sheep on it.
Yeah,
like literally, it's the size of didn't even make it to my knuckle on my first finger.
It is so very tiny that I can't even believe they made. And the actual top of this can isn't just a pop and put back. Like
no,
This is old school.
I love this more than anything you know. Like, do you have another one of these? Do I have to open this from the bottom? Because I'm saving this can forever. Do you have another one of these?
I don't know.
If you don't have another one of these, I'm going to pop it from the bottom.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I got one.
I need one of. So this is what cans were in the 50s.
Yeah, old school.
The
cans.
pull the whole top off.
You're going to peel it off to where you're going to actually have something in your hand separate.
I can't not have this. So for sure you have it.
I do.
Okay. Before I pop this off.
Yes.
All right.
And there's a reason we left this for the end because it is 70 proof.
1,000% alcohol.
It is 35% alcohol by volume, 100 milliliters, and it is just peanut butter whiskey. And apparently, you can mix this with other things, I'm sure, but why?
Holy crap. Why would you?
Why would you? So we're going to enjoy this for the last and final segment of Canned Conversation.
Love it. It is a tiny... Wow.
Oh, this is peanut butter.
Oh, my God. Okay, so just know...
With the whiskey finish, and you feel all the heat. My soul...
We're in episode 100.
Is warmed.
We've had 3 pints plus 2 tiny cans before this.
That we took as a shot.
So this is the 3rd tiny can.
Yep.
Tiny can. This thing warms your soul.
It does. It does. It's warm in my soul.
Oh my God. Like, this is the best thing to end with I've ever seen. Like, you've chosen well.
And thank you, Laura, my lovely wife. She got it for us. It's been in the show cooler for a little bit.
Has it really? You held on to this for a while?
I was looking for a good time. And
oh my God, this is the right time.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God, you nailed it.
I'm so glad.
Good.
Okay.
What do you got?
So this is our final segment, and I kind of wanted to go out with talking a little bit about not only why we're ending the show, and talk a little bit about that, talk a little bit about some of our just feelings about the show.
Sure.
And your survey was perfect for this. I didn't really know what was on your survey, so I thought, we'll kind of put it in with the hypotheticals. But as soon as you started to ask it, I thought, this.
We'll put it at the end. It's all good. It's all good.
This really works well with some of our.
It will help with context.
Yeah. So let's just start with something I didn't go in the first segment, or the first segment where we were talking about behind the scenes, and just what would I wanted to ask this question. Were there any topics we didn't cover? And we've done a lot, right? We've done 100 episodes now. We've talked about a lot of different topics. Were there any that you didn't cover that were on your list maybe that you thought you would want to?
I really think there is probably the only one that sticks out. And we did not cover adoption the way I thought we would cover adoption. I'm adopted. You've been adopted by Bob. I thought there would be more. I thought we would end up covering more about that. It's a part of our lives. It just is what it is. I think it's come out in other ways. I just don't think we've ever explicitly talked about on like a full episode of just like, what is it like?
Yeah.
Like, what is it like to go, oh, this is this. Oh no, it's that. To me, it's an interesting topic, and we have very different experiences with it,
Sure.
obviously because of just the way that we were raised and how it happened. But the way that my sister and myself have experienced it is extremely different. I thought at some point we would probably have that conversation. It's a weird one, and it's very niche. I get that. It just never has come out. So that's probably the only one that jumps out at me.
Okay.
I think we've talked about a lot of crap on this, like 100 episods of craziness.
Oh, yeah.
Like really cool stuff. So
yeah, and
there was any that you?
There was only a couple items. I would keep a list, and if I ever thought of anything, I would wake up sometimes and think, oh, here's something that I want to talk about, and I'd put it on my list. But there were and most of them I crossed off. However, there were only a couple. One was a game I thought that would be kind of fun, and that would be guess the risque product based on their slogan.
Oh no!
I.e., think tampons, condoms. Douches, pocket rockets, anything like that. Like if you just if I gave you their slogan,
could you guess what the product was?
Could you guess what that is, and then make you feel somewhat uncomfortable?
Yeah, 100%. I'm uncomfortable now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
You can go to bed and not even worry about whether you've urinated.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
like,
100% condoms.
Right. I wear condoms to bed.
All right.
Another one was end of the world predictions. It was a big one. I've had on my list for a long time, but I thought it was a bit dark. But one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting was there's a wiki page out there that is dedicated to all of the publicized end of the world scenarios. And there are hundreds,
there's a lot.
hundreds upon hundreds, dating back for as far as the eye can see.
I mean, the Aztecs had it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They're like, our calendar ends in 2012.
Right.
Right. Like they're like, we can't
Exactly.
see existence past that.
Yeah, and so many of them, when I was looking at them, so many of them are religious based. There's a ton.
I think we could have done a doomsday episode, which
Right.
would have been awesome. That's probably
Could
a
have
missed
been.
opportunity. I can buy that.
With vacuum decay. If you look that up, if you go to YouTube and put in what is vacuum decay, look at that. It's a very interesting take on what sort of modern scientists and people think is a
Vacuum
potential
decay.
end of
All
the
right.
world.
Okay.
It's just something that's potentially could
I
happen.
mean, I've gone through a lot of vacuums in our house. Seriously, at least 3.
Right. When the Dyson explodes, world ends.
Decay. All right, keep going.
So that one was a good one.
Okay.
Those were the main ones, and the only other one I thought of was getting into the documentary of our life. Who would play us? What would the theme be? It's kind of an ongoing sort of topic because our lives obviously aren't over. But I thought, we talk a lot about documentaries.
Yeah, we do.
And
I
so
watch a lot of them.
Right. And so what if, when your life ends, if for whatever reason one of the streaming services goes, man, that guy really had a good story.
I think it's less about what the kind of the me part of that is and who they went and got to like fill all the it's all the not B-roll. Whatever that is, that whole I knew Steven, he seemed like a decent guy.
Right.
And then all of a sudden that happened. And then you're like, damn, I don't know him. Or like that's not the guy I know. I don't know why he's in jail. Like that. I watch a lot of murder mysteries though. So it's like the Menendez brothers and but yeah, I would think it would be interesting to see who they would pick to be in the documentary about me. Like that would be crazy.
Yeah. And I agree. It's one of those things. And we talked a little bit.
That's a fun one to think about though. I mean,
the hypothetical you asked about, would you want to know who attended your funeral? I think
Yeah,
we talked a little bit
it's the
about
same
that.
kind of thing,
It's sort
right?
of that same kind of deal is what mark did I leave on the world?
Yeah.
What would people say about me once I'm gone? Would it be, did I add to, or did I take away from?
Yeah.
Was I a positive or was I a negative? I'm hoping that I'm
somebody gets up at my
positive.
150 people are at my funeral and then somebody gets up and tells a joke and they all laugh and I'm like that person gets me.
Mm-hmm.
Or does 12 people show up and then like, yeah, he kind of was a weird dude and you're like, oh, I thought I was good. Like that would be it would be an interesting documentary. I would watch it. Just saying.
That's awesome. I would watch a documentary on myself.
Yeah, the story of Steven.
Yeah. All right. All right. So let's go into yours, and then we'll kind of finish up with a couple of things I had.
Oh my! So that thing is
some peanut butter whiskey.
Sorry, that you caught me at the
Right.
time I was drinking. It's brutal.
Bad timing on my part.
It's all right. Can we talk really quickly just about episode updates?
Sure.
Is that all right?
Hit me.
So I thought it was interesting that we've talked about aliens a couple times. Let's call it 12. I'm not sure if that's the right number or not, but
right.
So recently, I thought we'd do some episode updates. And I'm going to ask you a couple questions. You tell me if you have any updates on those episodes.
Okay.
Okay. So episode update. We've had two alien episodes. Since those 2 episodes have aired, David Charles Grush, who's been a whistleblower who worked for the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, so the GNA, said on Tuesday this week.
Whoa.
Just for the record.
Super
current events.
Yes.
We are definitely not alone. Absolutely, we have data points empirically that show that we are not alone. So, with that said, we have people inside of our government going, hey, I'm going to whistleblow on you. Not only do I know there's aliens around, we have multiple pieces of alien crafts or full alien crafts that we've been experimenting on for a long time. It's where some of our technologies come from. We have a whistleblower coming out saying, not only have they been here, we've known they've been here. Okay. How do you feel about that?
Well, when you first were talking about it, when you just say we're not alone.
We're not alone.
I completely agree with that. I mean,
we're not alone here.
Okay.
Earth.
From the first get-go.
Yep.
I've said that there is life beyond the life that we know.
Yeah, but it's here.
Okay. I get.
I don't know if you're getting that or not.
Sure. I will not discount anything. I don't ever take a hard, fast pass and go, no, that's impossible. No. Yeah. No.
Lego Batman on me. Okay. All right.
Because
how do you feel about that though? The government's been hiding.
My
it from
basic
you from
philosophy
this
of life
whole time
is that I know so little.
Okay.
That I can only base what I know on what I've experienced, what I've read.
You haven't experienced aliens.
I have not.
Okay.
And to that end, and then I also take what I know and I apply it to other beings. And I say, if I were aliens, how would I approach going to another planet? So, to me, if I just cannot comprehend where aliens are on this earth and somehow we don't know, other than just people saying, believe me, this is my experience.
Okay.
If I don't have any sort of factual data to back it up,
you're still waiting for some truth to come out.
Just, if an alien showed up, why would they show up? Number one, they would show up because they want something from us. They want something from our Earth, in which they would just go, hey, we're like movies like the War of the Worlds, where they're just like, hey, we're going to take all of the stuff from your Earth. Number two, they would show up and go, we want to be friends with you, in which why would they be secretive about it? They would go, hey, we are also someone that thinks and has the ability to comprehend and problem solve and do all the things that you call a life that's a higher being than just say an animal, rudimentary.
Yep.
Or they would just go, we're just going to blow you out of the sky because we think you're a threat of ours.
Right.
Right. We don't want you to grow up so much that you could find us and kill us.
All right. So let me see.
So I'm going to say the reasons why I don't think that they're here is because of the very reasons that I've pointed out, that they would let us, we would know they're here.
That guy knows they're here. Let me see your left arm. Hold it up like this.
My left arm is up for people.
Do you have any kind of mole right here? Mole freckle?
Nope. You do?
I do.
Okay. I don't.
You're not an alien.
Oh, good.
Good to know.
Thankfully.
That's all I care about. All right. So I would like to. So that was the alien update. Is that for sure? I'm 100% true. Correct.
Do you think they're here now?
Oh, they've been here. This guy from the.
They didn't go and leave. They came and stayed.
They've come back and forth as willy nilly.
Why wouldn't we know? Other than this one guy.
Because the government's a freaking just death trap of information.
But the government's made of people, and people cannot hold secrets.
Which is why this guy, who's clearly his name is David Charles Grush. Just look him up. He just came out this week and said, I work for the NSA, basically. Hey, I've seen this crap. He's a whistleblower. Look it up. I'm just saying.
Or he just wants to be, he wants his 15 minutes of fame.
He's going to get it because I just gave it to him.
Right.
You're welcome, David.
My basic philosophy on secrets is that if 3 people know a secret, in order to keep it secret, you got to kill the other 2 people.
Agree. So, David, watch your back.
It cannot be a secret.
I'm here to tell you, if you're listening, David Charles Grush, watch your back.
You're on notice.
Yeah.
All right.
Stolen car. Do we need any updates on the stolen car?
Stolen car.
You've had a sorry, am I slurring that bad?
You're a bit. It's a
Sorry.
bit slur.
I apologize for the listeners. I'm slurring a little bit, but we had a stolen car update every probably 12
Right.
episodes for a while.
No update. We have the title. We got it titled.
It's replaced an
ours.
engine.
We replaced an engine.
It's been a great car.
Is but as good of a car as a car can be. It's gotten my daughter around. I have
With a new engine.
With a new engine. I've driven it on 1 or 2 occasions when I've absolutely needed to.
And it's felt great.
It's a
fine automobile.
fine car for a young person of her age.
Okay. So third of the 4 episode updates I want to talk about is politics. You and I have had multiple conversations. We've talked about it on the air. We've had 2 politics episodes, one of which has caused mass nonsense within our spheres, our ecosystems.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any like updates we need to have to that?
No,
you want to leave it alone so we don't ever have to talk about it again?
I've talked with, I've had ongoing conversations, and all I'll say is that the best thing to do is just have the conversation, and both be, and if the person seems willing, both, yourself included.
Yeah. Absolutely. You gotta be open-minded.
You have to be open-minded enough to go, I want to hear your point of view. I want to hear your supporting
facts of whatever those are.
Right. Anything that's supporting your position.
Yeah.
And then I will take that in, and it will inevitably shift whatever I'm thinking, minuscule points to the left or right, whatever, like not on the political spectrum, but just on my belief,
on a moral spectrum,
right,
or a person, a people spectrum.
It's going to
empathy spectrum.
It's going to impact the way I think.
Okay.
But as long as that, at the end of the day, and I kept saying this to the people that were providing input, was, hey, we're doing this all in the spirit of no one's taking this as a personal attack. Please don't take what I'm saying as being against you. Then that's the way I think the world should work, right? At the end of the day, I think we should all be able to just kind of say, hey, here's my one point, because so many people want to talk, right? Yep. Everybody wants to talk. There's not a lot of listening going on nowadays.
No, there's zero listening.
And that's my biggest gripe about humanity, is that I feel like everybody's trying to think about what their position is and how to position it so that they can make an argument and state their case. When I think much more people should be listening and going, how does this impact what my position? And I will then take it in and it will do what it does at the end of the day. Yeah. If that makes sense. I hope.
So let me
feel like that's drunk Andrew saying
that is wasted Andrew. Let me preface this with saying, I think we did a growth versus fixed mindset. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that episode to me ties directly into where we are with politics. Mm-hmm. Keep your mind open and listen correctly. And I say correctly, meaning listen with the intent to understand, not the intent to answer.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Thank you.
If you can just listen.
Give you some applause for that.
Dude.
Your intent is to listen.
Your intent
and grow,
is to listen.
Not to read, not to refute,
and that's
or
what
rebut.
And so that, to me, that's where politics is right now. Is everybody listens to rebut your whatever position you take. Listen to understand. Yeah. Just go. Do I know that? Do I know your experiences? No. Could I understand a different perspective? Yes. Does it change my mind completely? It doesn't have to. No, it doesn't. But it could at least elaborate a little bit on the experience that you've had in life, which is different than the experience I've had in life.
Agreed.
Cool.
But all I'll do, I do want to put one more point on this.
Drunk Andrew.
Is that in talking with the people that I've talked to, the only other thing I'll say is don't weaponize things that you think are things like science. So
100%.
So if you go, so and and then this is not my own. Like I listened to some really good conversations with people way smarter than me, who said, even like let's say science proved that being LGBTQ plus is psychological and not and as opposed to
biological.
Biological. Cool. Even if you could prove that, don't weaponize it.
No.
To then say, I can then therefore take rights from you.
Yeah.
That's not the point.
I don't understand.
You've missed the point.
I don't understand.
If you're weaponizing science.
If you don't understand their experience in life, everybody has a different experience. Everybody's on a different journey. You're on a different journey. Understand that. It's okay.
Right.
Like, I'm on a journey that I've come through. A black female is going to be on a completely different journey. A person who questions their gender, completely different journey.
Right.
You can understand facts, but also understand that somebody's on a completely different journey than you're on. Just be empathetic to people's journey in life. Like legitimately take a deep breath, go, I can be empathetic to your journey.
And don't think that everything we know now is gospel.
Right. 100%.
Because the people 1,000 years ago thought that they thought what they thought was gospel.
They thought they knew everything about everything, and they didn't.
They didn't.
We didn't know everything about everything 30 years ago. The things that we're discovering now. So
exactly.
All right. So wait, I have one more thing.
Wait, I haven't done anything.
God.
I'm not leaving.
Are you leaving? Don't get up.
Steven's drunk.
Really? That's where we're at. So my last episode update is we've talked a lot about surveys. We've talked about them in multiple episodes. I just wanted to cover my daughter got back from my 19-year-old got back from a trip that she took with people her age, her peers, without us. First trip with just kids going on a trip, right?
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing, in my opinion. Like kids, when I was that age going, I'm independent, I can go on my own trips. The first thing I said was, did everybody have fun? And she said, swear to God, you're going to love this. She said, well, I gave them a survey and they said, kid you not. So she said they had 8.5 out of 10 stars. And I go, for one, I love that you surveyed them. Love it.
Right.
And for two, I go, what was your survey rating? She goes, it was about 8.5. And I go, okay, well, talk about what that means to you. And she goes, well, it could have been better if we did plan it better here. But we had, every time we were out doing stuff, it was a blast. Like we had a great time. Like, so it was an 8.5. And I'm like, you take an 8.5 all day long out of 10 stars. Like you take a 4 out of 5 stars all day long. And I'm like, oh my God, I've passed this crap on to my kids. So I thought as an ending finality to this episodes, all the episodes we do is go, oh my God, my kids are doing this crap now. And I love it. It makes me happy. I'm sure it makes you laugh. I could see the twinkle in your eye that you're
awesome.
like, oh my God, your
love
kids. So yeah, the first thing she says, I gave him a survey and I'm like, oh no, Andrew's going to lambast me about this. But
no, because you know what I've learned from you and what's great about surveys, I feel like it makes you take a deeper dive into an experience that you just had, where sometimes it's easier to gloss over and say, oh, I had the experience. Okay, what's the next experience? And instead of looking back on it and really kind of looking at it, if you don't gloss over it, then time goes a little bit slower, right? We all talk about how time passes pretty fast and that you miss some things or that things go quicker than you want them to. And I feel like a part of it is just because we're always looking on to the newest, most shiny object in the distance.
Yeah.
And if we take a moment to really to go, hey, this is what happened right now.
Yeah.
Then you can slow things down a little bit and really appreciate what has happened in the here and the now.
And I think for her, at least for when I interpreted what she said was, if I had to do this over again, how would I make this better? And that's all I'm trying to get her to think about is with surveys is going, if you're a 10, great. We're going to rinse and repeat. Let's roll. Like even if you're a 9, let's rinse and repeat that whole thing. I'll take a 9 all day long. I'll take a 90%. Like in school for me, a 90% was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're a 6, 7, 8, what did you learn that we can do differently next time to make it an 8, 9, 10? Like that's the goal. And so I think for some reason it clicked to me when she came home yesterday. Literally yesterday, it was like, I gave him a survey and I'm like, you gotta be kidding. I'm like, seriously, it's worn off on. I don't push that on her. She's just like, I gave him a survey. It's they were 8.5s out of 10s, and I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
What did you learn? And
That's
she's
killing
like,
it.
this is the part that was great. I wish I would have been more active in this part, or I wish we would have done something differently here. And I'm like, that's all I need you to be able to communicate that part. I'm an 8.5 because X, and I loved this part. Sweet. You can separate out, I love this. Let's try to figure out how to get this better.
Yeah.
Perfect.
For sure.
Cool. So I'm good. What do you want to do next?
Have you marked all your boxes?
We haven't done awards yet.
Do that.
Do you want to do awards?
Yes.
All right. So it's quick. I promise you it's quick.
I'm in no rush.
Do you want, all right. Oh, good. So I only have 3. And when we talked about the 100th episode, and we were going to we don't give a crap how long it goes.
Right.
We're going to do what we do.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to the end. I thought
It's a party.
You know what we need is awards.
Yeah, we do.
And so I thought superlatives would be a great award.
That's a big word.
It is, especially after we have a table full of cans right now. Literally a table full.
All my cans are empty except for the Thursday night incident, which I'm trying to finish.
Yeah. You want to take a break for a minute and do?
I've frozen on the screen again.
Damn it!
1 second.
Let's take a break.
And we're back.
Okay. All right. So let's do this. Let's make this happen. Ready? So
Yes.
we talk about what we've liked, what we haven't liked. I think in my head, I always talk. I narrowed it down to there are some things that just stand out to me.
Okay.
And so I've got 3 awards. It's really quick. Let's roll.
Yes. Let's roll.
It's Got Legs award. The thing that what episode or which item, which section of an episode do you think has had legs for you? And by that I mean I'm going to give you the one of mine. High maintenance. High maintenance. I have talked about we did an episode on high maintenance, low maintenance. I have talked about that episode more than any other episode. It has legs. It just keeps going. We did that episode and it has stimulated so much conversation. The who is high maintenance, who is low maintenance, and why are they high maintenance? And am I high maintenance in a certain way, but low maintenance everybody wants to justify their own behavior. That episode alone has stimulated so much extra conversation outside of the podcast. So that's my what episode has legs.
Yeah, that's a good one. What is hilarious is that for me, it's self-awareness. So if you listen to the last episode, 99,
it was brutal.
My family,
just bombs throwing.
Upon re-listening, they were like, well, yeah, we really said you were not self-aware. And I said, you give me examples and let's work through it. Like I'm not saying I'm not self-aware, but you really made the case I'm not. So let's throw it out there. And what was funny was that when they gave examples, it was like, well, you're not aware of my feelings when you do this. And I go, well, that might be true, but I'm aware what I'm doing.
It's your feelings.
Your feelings.
I am not aware of because you're not making them clear. Is that?
Well, your feelings are you. I can't control your feelings.
All right.
Like I'm aware of what I'm doing, and I'm aware that it might not be your favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
That I do.
Which is okay.
Which is okay. But at the end of the day, I'm aware of what it is I'm doing. I cannot control your feelings, and I want them to maybe be one way, but I can't control that. That doesn't equal my self-awareness.
Right.
And so it was kind of a great conversation, but I feel like self-awareness is this weird subject of what everybody has their own version of what that means. And, to me, at the end of the day, I'm like, you just have to be really aware of what it is you're doing and be cognizant of the effects that it has on other people. And I understand that there's negative effects of my behavior or what I do on other people.
Right.
But sometimes I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. So,
all right. So yours is
what has legs is it. And I think it ties together.
The self-awareness. We've had a couple of self-awareness
for sure.
So that's kind of
it's an ongoing subject that is will never die.
So the two
and
that
very opposite of opinions on what it means.
The two that I think have had legs for me, High Maintenance and the Bud Light political episode. Those two have had legs. Just legs and legs and legs. Where I've talked more about those two episodes than I haven't about any other episodes we've done out of 100. So,
for sure.
All right. So the next award goes to most fun topic. I was split on this one. Most fun topic we've ever covered.
Out of 99 previous
topics.
to this.
Yep.
There's so many good ones.
You want me to go first?
Please.
All right, so I'm trying to make this easier, so you can think about these as I go.
Yeah.
So I've had the most fun. So I awarded these to aliens and music. I've had the most fun from us having banter back and forth about how we differ. And it's mostly because we differ, right? Like because we differ about how we look at aliens. We differ about how we deal with music. Like you're a very instrumental person. You're very, it's very beat driven. It's very,
instrument.
I'm very lyrically driven. I'm like, I want to be emotionally attached. You want to be very like almost, I don't know how to, it's weird. We have a different attachment to music. And so I think our music episodes have been great. It's everything from the bad karaoke to like I played music on the show with us. Like we've done guitar stuff. We've done
Playlist for the Soul.
We've done all kinds of weird, crazy stuff.
Yeah. We've run the gamut on music.
And I've loved those episodes. For some reason, that just because I think we're different there, and I think that
there's a lot that we've explored. That I agree. I like that a lot. And yes, one of the fun things that get the most traction, I think, are sometimes the ones that we disagree on.
Yep.
So those are fun. Man, like I just
most fun episode. Think about
ever.
Yeah.
That's so hard. There's so many. And I feel like I've put a lot of myself into so many of the episodes. I did my run through, and I think I had 4 or 5.
Yeah.
That I felt like they're for each its own reasons of whether it was the first jokes I was really trying to write as jokes.
Yeah.
Whether it was
I love that.
Something I really thought was deep, when I saw happiness versus not happiness, I thought was really...
You loved happiness versus not happiness.
I really did.
I'm going to count that as yours. Your favorite was happiness versus non-happiness because I think
Why Do We Lie? I loved...
You got into a couple of those. Yeah. All right, so last award, I think most fun segment. What's the most fun you had with a segment? Not the whole podcast, not the whole topic, but just a segment of the topic. I'm gonna give you mine.
Okay.
We did it tonight. Bad karaoke.
Nice.
For some reason, just resonated with me. For one, it was music. For two, it was you taking a risk, putting yourself kind of out there.
Yeah.
Like it was. So those two things are like, yeah, it's no holds barred. Let's do some bad karaoke. Like
crooning.
Like. Even before tonight, like the crooning was a whole bonus episode to me. But like the first episode you did, we're like, there was some risk about putting yourself out on the internet or out in the world.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm 100% in. And I'm like there was a part of me that walked away that night and was like, damn, he put himself out there. Like that was it. Like I was super impressed. I'm like it was cool for me because I thought it was a fun episode, but I'm like that is what taking a risk looks like. Like that for me, that one won an award because it was like, I'm like, that dude put himself out there. It was like, I'm going to sing for you online. Like I was in.
My favorite part
that
of
was
that
a risk.
was when you showed up for the taping, and I said, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun with this, and I have no idea how it's gonna come off for me, but I'm just I don't. We're gonna do whatever it takes to entertain, and yes, I appreciate that you see that, because it was like, I don't really care.
Yeah, no.
About how I come off necessarily. It was just, I just want to have fun, and it doesn't matter to me to what end.
Yeah. You get why I awarded this for a reason.
Thank you.
And it's because we could have 100,000 listeners, 100 listeners, or 12 listeners.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You said, for that episode, which we found out was like 23.
Right.
Early in it.
It was early.
You're like, I'm going to put myself out there. Let's do this. Let's entertain. Like, let's have fun. Like we would do at a normal event.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not pretend.
Right. We don't care.
We're not pretending.
All right.
Like, this is not, like, I love that. I was
awesome.
So that became one of I gave that an award, and I'm like, that should get an award.
Excellent.
That was bold. Nice work. I love it. All right, cool.
Yeah. And to your also point, what I loved, because you gave me a little kudos on that, I'll just say what was great about some of what you brought in terms of going, hey, I don't mind if I'm stirring the pot on some things that people think are really deep subjects that they take really seriously, because I think you and I are very similar in that we try not to take anything so seriously that we can't go, well, why can't we laugh at this? Like, why can't we just have a conversation that's not like there's offense? What offense can be taken at me saying that I'm against such and such? And I think that's where what's lacking in our world today is that there's such an offensive culture, or there's a culture of going, hey, you can't really say that because it's offensive to certain people. Well, true, everyone could be offended by anything I say, but let's be real about a particular subject, and just throw it out there and go, hey, I'm not being malicious. Yeah. I'm just saying, hey, here are my points of view. And so, like, the mask mandate, the vaccinations,
oh my God,
the religion thing that we had, losing my religion episode, the Mickey Mouse episodes that we've had, all of that, I think has been wonderful to just go. I hope the only thing that we've done, because we don't try to move the needle on people's personal beliefs, because we don't. We both know that
that's not my world.
That's hard as hell.
Yep. Nope.
I might move it one smidgen, but what we want to do is just have people, I think, hear us and go, you don't have to be so dedicated to it. That's your life. That's your identity. So your identity is this belief.
So at work, people make fun of me, and I can't help it. But I put it at the end. I did it again today, and somebody commented about it. I'm like, do not remove it. It is, people who smile do better work. Right? Like, so I want you to go through this life happy and going, okay, we don't always have to agree. You and I have been friends for 27 years. Sorry. I've been married for 27 years. I met 28 years almost for you and I. But we don't agree on everything. We just don't. We agree on probably 80% of things. It doesn't matter.
Right. It doesn't matter.
Like, we smile, we laugh, we get through it. That's how life works.
Right.
Like, stop taking crap so seriously. Like, this isn't so serious that you have to, like, lose friends, family over. So today I created a giant training, literally giant training at work. And it's multiple people have collaborated on creating multiple units of training. And the last thing I said on there is, have fun. Do whatever you want with this. Make this your own and have a good time with it, because people who, and literally my text is, people who smile do better work. Just if you do nothing else, make people laugh, because it puts them in the right mindset.
Thank you.
Like, stop being so grumpy and pissy about stuff. Smile a little bit and go, I hate that, but screw it. I can still be a happy human being and know that crap exists in the world. Anyway, so
anyway,
all right, keep it going. How are we going to wrap this thing?
Okay.
What do you want to do?
So let me just say this, because I want to address this specifically. Why are we ending the show?
Okay.
So, I mean, if you're listening to this episode and you've been a listener for a little bit, you might go, why are you ending here?
It's sad.
And
makes me sad.
And so I just want to say, we started this thing when COVID was a thing, when it was more prevalent, and it was, we were trying to take precautionary measures. And so Stephen and I were hunkering down and, coming into the basement studio. And we were doing something that we had talked about, which was, putting out there our conversations to the world. But, that's sort of over. COVID sort of, we're going to live with it for a while now, but that's a thing that's sort of the emergency piece of it's past. Our lives are sort of taking a bit of a change. I'll let you answer this, but for me personally, my work situation's sort of changing. I'm getting a little bit older. I spend a lot of hours behind the computer, working on this. And I need to get up and move more. That's just me personally. I think we've run the gamut and we've talked about pretty much a lot of the things that we would talk about. I don't think we've left much unturned in terms of subject matter. I feel like at this point we would start recovering bases.
Yeah.
And me personally, I'm making sort of a transition. I don't know about you, but I think we've talked about this, and I think you probably too, is that, we did an episode on living a rich life. And, I feel like we're sort of moving into a new phase of exploring what that means for us. And, everything kind of comes to an end. And this is one of them. And, it's not to say that we'll never, ever pick up a microphone again, but, a lot of the hours that is spent on doing the artwork, on doing the production stuff, on doing the whatever, is just a lot of that is going to shift a little bit to figuring out the rest of kind of how we're going to live.
Yeah.
That's my best way of saying that.
I don't want to cut
7
you.
drinks deep.
Yeah, you're 19 drinks deep. I don't want to cut you off and any of that, but just so I have been. So first, thank you for allowing me to come on this journey. This has been very little impact on my life, very more of an impact on your life. You said from the very beginning, I want to explore this skill set. Like I wanted to be a radio DJ. Maybe that wasn't my calling, but I'd like to explore this podcast. And I'm like, cool, let's go do that. We did that. I thought it was going to be 10 episodes, 12 episodes, 15 episodes, whatever it is. We're at 100. Dig it. I have covered, and so I wrote it down just so you know.
Yes.
I have covered ideal team player, growth versus fixed mindset, personality tests, surveys, relationships, religion, music, and concerts. All of things if I had to list 5 things I'm passionate about, that's 7 things. Like these are 7 of the 5 things I'm passionate about. I don't know how you cram 7 things into 5 things, but I did.
Nice.
Like we have talked about things that I love. We have documented things that I love. And you have documented things you are passionate about and love.
100%.
Like 100 episodes of stuff we love. Like if people don't listen, I don't care.
Right.
I don't have that from my dad. I don't have that from my mom. I would love to have that from my mom and dad. 100 episodes of your thoughts and your stories and your
life.
Like just it's I love it. When I listen back to it, I go, that's 100% me. at that 100% time. Love it.
Yeah.
There have been times that we've been peeling onions on this podcast, and I've been like, God, I don't want to cry on this podcast, and I'm going to. And I've loved that because that's what we've pulled out. I'm okay if we end today, which we're going to. Like the final episodes tonight, cool. I feel like we've done a lot of stuff. We've talked about a lot of stuff, and you have explored a portion of your life that you wanted to explore that I just came along for the journey, and I'm like, crap. From the cursing episode.
Right. Yes.
If you're listening, so cursing episode, I got to benefit from you exploring a piece of your life that you wanted to explore, that I got to come along for the journey. Super freaking happy about it. I got to come along for that because I got so much benefit out of this. It's been awesome. Loved it. Sometimes I come unprepared, still loved it. I'm just saying, loved it. It's not every episode I've loved. Not every episode I've brought the topic for I've loved, but I've loved the experience. It's been a fun experience.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me in this journey. It's been amazing. You know, when we started, I know we did it for ourselves first. One of the caveats was it's not like we're trying to garner an audience. It's not like we're trying to move the needle on people's perceptions of reality. And like I said, I was gonna come back to this. We're not the murder mystery. We're not the true life crime. We're not the there's a ton, and even way more than even 2 years ago when we started. So podcasts were prevalent when we started.
Yep.
But even more so now, it's like everyone has a podcast, and which is great, but we did this for ourselves. Number one, we wanted to have fun. Number two, our friends and family. I think we just wanted to be able to just have a good time during this COVID thing, and really be able to just also put ourselves out there for our future generations.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that a little bit, to go, hey, I'm not sure what's happened.
Behind the scenes, just know. Can I explain this while you're dealing with it? So behind the scenes is at apparently 9:30, Andrew has an automated thing that shuts off all of the lights in the house because nobody needs lights after 9:30, and so here we are in the basement. If we go long on a podcast, it just happens. Swear to God, it just happened. Everything freaking shuts off. And I say effing because we're 9 beers in or whatever, 12 beers in. I don't know what we are. Thank God we're not live. But like all of the monitors shut off, all the lights shut off, everything shuts off. Yeah. So love it. Andrew's automation.
That's what I do.
That's what I do.
So, we thought when we started, we were self-sustaining. We never put a commercial on this.
No.
We never were looking for the money. If someone came along and said, you are the next niche thing that we want to see, and offers us, some stupid Joe Rogan money, we would have taken it for sure.
100%.
Not going to lie on that.
We got a free set of beers though from Brewski.
Yeah.
Brewski was like, here's a package full of beer. So shout out to Brewski.
We're a minnow in the podcast of an ocean full of fish. And we were just, what I truly, truly believe is that your time is precious. And we were always trying to grab an hour of that out of the week. And that is not lost on us. We know how precious time is. It's one of the things that I think we talk about a lot. There's a time with your family, time with your loved ones, and time doing what makes you happy is the most precious thing. So in order to grab one of your hours, to us, is immensely just something that we love and cherish, that you guys have been along with us. So I don't want to get So we're ending it.
You should start crying. Are you crying right now? I feel like there's onions being cut.
I've drank a lot, so I'm
You
in
should
that.
cry.
I should
Start crying.
So
Go.
I'm going to cry.
Go.
So to all of our guests, thank you so much for being with us. Keith, Sasha, Deb, Billy, Andy, our family, everybody that has enjoyed the show for the 99 plus one. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Stephen, for coming on the journey. All the hours and hours of that we've done this and had an enjoyable time. It will live on and it will be there. It will always be out there. So it's not like, some people, I mean, there's 100 episodes worth of stuff.
Enjoy.
Out there. Enjoy. Go back and listen. If you've listened to all of our stuff, if you've only listened to a couple, feel free to listen to more. We've had just a blast doing this. And that's really all I have. I think we've covered it.
We have.
Yeah. So
I will just say, I mean, in my notes of tonight's 100th final episode show, all I said was there was a thank you at the bottom that just said, this was a thing that you came up with that you're like, I want to do this. And I'm like, oh, whatever. This has been fun. Like, so thank you. Thank you for people who listened. Thank you for creating it. Thank you for people who listened, who go, hey, I listened to this. Like I've got people at work. I've got friends. We've got people who've I've got a lady in Germany who I worked with who listens all the time. Is like I listened to this. Tell me about this. And so we have these interesting conversations based on this podcast. And I appreciate the hell out of those because I think those don't happen if we don't have a forum like this.
Right.
So this has been really fun. It's been a blast, and I didn't know that I needed this in my life, but for some reason I guess I did. And like my kids, like, yeah, I'm proud you did this. Kind of 75-25 proud, but still 25 proud. I'll take it. In 10 years, you'll listen to this when I'm like 20 years when I'm dead and gone.
Right.
You'll go, oh my God, my dad thought this about aliens. Like
Right.
So I just want to say thank you specifically. You created a forum in which I have the opportunity to do this. We've had 100 episodes of this. Whether it's super entertaining or not, it's super impactful. So I appreciate that. So
it's definitely been a very
for me
part of our life.
Yeah. For me, it's been 2 years, been a part of my life for 2 years.
Right.
That I've captured a lot of what I feel like is honest conversation, which is lacking in the world. And I want my kids to know honest conversation. Be okay with who you are, how you believe, why you believe it. Be open-minded to hear other opinions. Great. Go forward.
I couldn't have summed it up better myself.
Cool.
I just thought of something though.
Yeah?
Did we ever talk about the Cobra effect?
Hold on. I do think we covered that.
Oh,
we did. We covered. I think we covered that.
Excellent. Well, if we have, then I think we just have one more thing to do for the last and final time.
Thanks you.
Until we meet again out in the wild, be good to each other. Laughter is contagious, so spread it far and wide. We'll miss you. Love always.
Aww.